Obs.
Obs, man. Sweet obs.
Oh no, my shovel ran out. I got another one. Oh,
We
no,
started streaming
my
by the way.
shovel ran out. I got another one. We did?
Yay!
Like, we're live.
Yeah.
Success!
Oh shit.
Yeah, so hello anyone who's decided to join, which is no one by the way.
Hey, that's fair. That's. We'll just talk amongst ourselves then.
You're all handsome looking people out there in the crowd.
Handsome.
So I was playing
Handsome
Only handsome
ladies.
though.
I was playing
Only handsome.
Wolfenstein. The new Colossus.
The new one?
Yeah. And and all of a sudden I was like, shit, we have a show today.
Oh shit, right. We have a show. Oops.
Well, cause I
Yeah.
think it's cause Specs is Specs.
I
sent a message
remembered.
saying, I think he said, "I'm leaving now. I should be home in 10 minutes." I'm like, 10 minutes for shit.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, "Hey, Beth, do you want to play Overwatch at 10?" And she was like, "Okay." And then, like 15 minutes later, Specs sent me a text about gluten allergy.
Yeah, I
And
was
while I
bored at
was
work.
Wait.
While I was reading it, I was like, "Wait, what day is it? Saturday. Specs talking about a random topic. Oh shit! We do that on Saturday."
Oh yeah, that's the Saturday thing we do.
If you guys want to take a look at the background I decided to pick for our first debut episode.
The first one. Ah, it's perfect.
I love it.
Well, no, that isn't the background.
What?
It's not Kirby.
That's
don't
just the
see
thumbnail?
That's just the thumbnail. Look.
Oh, it's the toothbrush cat.
Brush him.
Brush him.
And in the most professional Comic Sans I could do,
Yep, the most professional.
in the best color I could think of,
Lime
lime mint green.
I mean, it matches the toothbrush.
No,
No. That's supposed to?
it's blue. That's a blue toothbrush.
Yeah,
You're a
but
blue
toothpaste is green.
Damn, dude. He called me a blue toothbrush. Yeah, so you're gonna be talking to Beth. She's like, "So why weren't you able to play Overwatch?" She's like,
Oh, right,
to
yeah.
explain that you and your idiot friends had to.
Yeah, it was at 7:44. I told her 10 p.m. And then at 8:09, I said, "Oh wait, maybe not. I might be doing the podcast thing tonight."
Oh, right. Wait, I'm live tonight. I forgot.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't figured it out by now about the title, it's called "We'll Figure It Out." Probably because of this.
Yep.
Yes, this.
It's a way I usually title things. Is like whenever I'm trying to like figure out a title with people, I'm like, okay, let's think of names. And it's like someone's like, you know what, we'll figure it out. I'm like, let's make that the title.
That works. It's a working title.
And by working title, I mean it's good. It's the title.
It's the title.
Yeah. So
It's just what we're gonna do.
who's gonna what losers are gonna be joining us today? Like in terms of watching us. Oh wow, the fucking YouTube link on Twitter shows that I'm playing
Shadow of the
Colossus,
Shadow-
apparently.
Yeah.
I've noticed that my Twitch ones have been doing that too. They just
You're
haven't
like,
been updating.
We're on now. Screwing
Wait.
around with Shadow of the Colossus, and I'm
And
like,
that's not right.
if that's what we're doing, I
we're-
guess we'll figure
we're
it
playing-
out.
That's what it
We
is.
are playing Life of Black Tiger. God damn it!
Life of Black Tiger. We
Best
could be
PS4
playing.
game.
We could be playing Clone Drone in the Danger Zone.
No, no, sir.
No, we're
We're
not.
playing the best PS4 game ever, Life of Black Tiger.
But that's super hot though.
Have you guys seen gameplay of Life of Black Tiger?
I honestly didn't hear about it until you have actually said something about it.
I would okay, just look up Life of Black Tiger and
All right, hang on. Let me go to my Google here.
It's an
Life
amazing game.
of Black Tiger.
it's even got the PS logo on the thumbnail, so you know it's professional.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's mature. It's 17 plus.
It's
Ooh.
extremely fucking mature, bro.
I'm digging this
Oh.
classical piano riff. It's really got me. Oh man, this like Nintendo 64 level.
If you guys didn't know, it's the shittiest.
Oh,
game.
he just ate that dude. He just ate that dude. Oh, he killed the wolf.
Let's just say it's probably an.
Oh, he killed
asset-
all the wolves. Oh, it's like Skyrim,
It's
but
an
with like
it's an
super
asset flip.
hardcore. Yeah.
to tell people the quality.
Oh,
of
he's
what- of
killed
what-
like tons of wolves now. Oh, this is
the
great.
the quality of what Specs is looking at right now. This game is on Android first, and it was ported to PS4.
Dude, he just killed a fish and it like flew to the air.
Yeah,
He's eating the fish now.
it's the Life of Black Tiger, dude.
This is like the greatest National Geographic documentary turned video game I've ever seen. Dude, he's fighting a fucking alligator. Holy shit. He's eating the alligator. This tiger is badass. Oh, it looks like he's running through like
Brought
Lord
to
of the
you by
Rings
Life- brought to you
territory
by Life
now.
of Black Tiger.
I have
Yeah.
to. Oh my
Oh,
god!
a whole pack of coyotes.
Now
Oh, he's gonna
here's
save the
guy,
little. He's gonna save the tiger cub. Save
It's
the
the
tiger
best.
cub. Kill it.
for those guys.
68,000
Whoa. 10 out of 10.
votes.
10 out of
68,000 votes on the trailer. And 11K likes, 57K dislikes.
Oh man.
1.2 million views. When do I get my Game
Yeah.
of the Year edition?
1.2
It's
million
yeah.
views.
So I would suggest you guys, like any of you guys who are watching the VOD of this, just stop and go look up the Life of Black Tiger trailer.
Yeah.
It will
When
it
do
will
I get
be-
my Game of
it's
the Year
worth your time.
edition?
It's worth your time.
It is. That was the best minute and 21 seconds I have ever spent in the almost 25 years of my
It's
living
so
on this
bad,
earth.
Jim Sterling had to review it.
Jim Sterling.
Jim Sterling.
You know it's bad when he's gotta pull it up.
Yeah.
The wolves are just limply falling.
It's like Skyrim on low-end graphics when
It's
you
the Life of
reboot it
Black
in the
Tiger, what can
Morrowind
I say?
edition of the engine.
Anyway, I'm freelance. These are my friends Drew and Specs,
Yep, we're here.
and we're gonna be just talking about random shit.
Yep, we do the
Hello.
YouTube thing and the stuff and
Yeah.
the talking.
Yeah. So, I guess we can start. with
Why
What?
do people hate Life of Black Tiger?
You know
Because
what?
those
You're
people
you're
I
are
want-
wrong.
I
Listen,
want this
listen,
game.
there are two types of people in this world. Those that love Life of Black Tiger, and those who are wrong.
And those who are wrong.
Those two are wrong. I'm liking this trailer video. Those 57,000 people can
It's
screw
got
me.
that great royalty-free piano music.
Yeah, dude, it's wonderful. It's so calming.
That sweet ass crossfade slash.
Yeah, and then he eats a fucking alligator. He kills and eats a goddamn alligator.
Specs, calm down. It's great. It's a great game, I know, but it's
No, it's not a great game. It's the best game. It's the best game.
Wait, one of the top comments is, "Wait, was that gameplay? I thought it was real life footage of a tiger."
welcome to three people just rip on Life of Black Tiger.
Vivid and realistic experience.
Oh god. Anyway, before this gets off rails,
I'm
let's
Off
talk about our
rails?
favorite games of 2017. Life of Black Tiger.
Life of Black Tiger was best game 2001. Best
Like-
game 2017 was A Hat in Time. A Hat in Time was the best game for me. 2017. God damn, is it so good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that game looks good in every way.
Oh yeah, it's on my list of games that I actually do want to play. I just follow the people who made it because they just seem like chill people.
Yeah,
They really
Gearbox-
do.
Gears for
They're
Breakfast
like
is pretty
that
good.
Moon Pie Twitter account where they actually talk
Yeah.
back and
and like favorite and retweet all of no matter how good the fan content is or how bad it is, all of it, and no matter you could be 8 years old, love this game, or retweeting it. Your thing is great. We love it.
I'm pretty sure the game is meant for 8-year-olds.
I think that's its intended audience, but it's still phenomenal.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I love this game. It's so
I mean,
good. You
but it'll
can.
never
There's
be-
a friggin' Roomba in this game. Like that's all
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to know to play this game. There's a Roomba.
But the thing
There's
is,
a room.
is it knack?
There's an achievement
It's
involving the
Not
Roomba.
enough
That's
knack,
all it
baby.
needs. No, but there's Mafia.
It's a
The
masterpiece.
there are Mafia in
There
I
this
was
is
game.
surprised. I
Mafia.
was surprised when I was watching like a video of it, and there's Mafia in the game. Like,
Yep.
is this
There's a whole town of Mafia even.
Yeah, they're the primary antagonist in the first world, and all of them are exactly the same.
The only video I saw of it was Max Mofo playing it, and he
Oh,
was
Yeah.
like, dude, this main
Gosh,
character's
it's
super
so
adorable.
funny.
It is. It's
It
the
is.
most adorable main character of all time.
I think,
But
I
but
can
the
agree
Black
with
Tiger from Life
Yeah.
of Black Tiger.
But the Black Tiger,
Oh,
like damn.
but there's okay. Life of Black Tiger is in a league of its own. We
Yeah,
cannot
you
compare
can't-
it to anything
yeah.
else.
It's like
It's not
comparing
fair.
Sean Connery to any other James Bond
It's-
actor. Like
It-
there's
it-
every other person who played James Bond and then Sean Connery.
then there's Sean Connery. Suck it, Trebek.
I'm not sure.
I'll take anal bum cover for 500 Trebek.
I'll take the rapist.
That's an album
That's
cover.
therapist.
I spent 5 years of my life trying to invent an anal album cover. Failing to do so is my greatest regret. You have led a horrifying life.
Sean Connery's the reason I loved watching Hollywood Squares.
Oh my god, Hollywood Squares was hilarious because like Paul Lind and
Oh my god.
RuPaul before like all this, before RuPaul's Drag Race, which apparently is an amazing show. Like my
Oh,
freaking
it is. It's
dad
apparently
watches
really
it
good.
sometimes. He's 70.
Yeah. But no, they put Trebek through more on that show than they do to the guy who does Family Feud now. I can't remember his name for
Oh,
for the life of me
Steve
right now.
Harvey.
Yeah, they put him through more than Steve Harvey deals with on Family Feud in current
You know,
times.
that reminds me.
I love Steve Harvey.
There's one thing. Steve Harvey hosted like a party for the New Year's. He hosted
Oh?
one of the parties, and he said this thing. He was like, "It has never been closer to 2018." It's like you can just say that at any second, at any time.
Anytime.
Yeah, and you'll be right.
2018 has never been closer. 2018 has never been closer. 2018 has never been closer.
And every time you will be correct. That's
And then
hilarious.
after 2018 has never been farther.
Further.
Oh god. But yeah, so
That's
some of my favorite
fantastic.
games I played Persona 5. I played Horizon Zero Dawn. I played Absolver. I played
Absolver looks really good.
it's-
The first two things you said are amazing. I haven't heard the third one.
Persona 5 is my favorite game of all time, dude.
Oh my god, that's what Lelth is saying too. Like, she adores it.
It's just
It's just so good.
it's like, and when I start, like, me and someone on Twitter that I follow also kind of agreed with me. That's like when you're done playing the game, it's just like what else can I do with my life now?
Well, you could play one of my runner-ups for best game of 2017, The Caribbean Sail, an homage to our time-lost and age-old favorite, The Oregon Trail.
Ooh, that's
I'm
a long
sorry, if there's no
and verbose
dysentery,
title.
I'm not interested.
No, there is plenty of dysentery, and you can even contract scurvy.
Game of the year.
Oh,
Game of the year, 10 out of 10.
Persona 5, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out. The Caribbean Sail, Game of the Year.
But yeah, seriously, guys, everything about Persona 5.
So what's Absolver?
Absolver? Okay, I'll explain. It's a game where it's a game where you make your own combos. You learn
Okay,
moves from other people or other people that you fight. If you block a move, you can learn like it for a little bit. And you have to
That
do
sounds
that. You have to
cool.
do that a few times before you actually learn it. And you take these moves and you set them up in slots, and that will be your combo for that button. And you can like mix and match. What I did with mine is I make it fast and I make it flow into each other. So if I punch to the right,
Mhm.
I'll try and have a move where let's see. If I if I kick out with like my right foot, I'll try and find a move where I'll twist around and kick with my left foot, or like that kind of thing, and it works. It's also basically a fashion game. Lots of things you can wear. It's basically
I'm
like Dark
sold.
Souls and Monster
I'm
Hunter.
sold. Transmog is 90% of your
So,
DPS.
Fab Solver
Yeah.
is lit, man.
Fab
Is it
Solver is
like-
lit.
Fab Solver. Is it like a Diablo style hack and slash game, or is it
No,
like
it's a fist fighting game.
so it's like Street Fighter side scroller 2D side scroll?
Nope. You
No?
roam around the world, find people either online or NPC, and you just fight.
And you punch him in the
So
ass.
it's like Streets of Rage but 3D.
It's a very interesting like.
Oh, I love Streets of
and they're
Rage.
adding
Streets of Rage is so good.
They was going to originally be PvP like focused, but recently people have been like, no, we like the PvE, so the whole team is just shifting their focus and deciding to make it more PvE.
I see.
On my wish
people
list.
people like to fight with their fight with their friends against PvE.
This game actually
Yeah,
looks pretty
Fab
good.
Solver is absolutely on
It's got
my
an
wish
amazing art
list.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that it's
agree.
all like martial arts style deal too.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
that
It
I
even
really
has like it even has some like fighting styles people don't know of. Like, did you know Drunken Style is a fighting style?
Yeah.
Zyquan, yes, I
Yes.
did know that, but
Very-
only because of D&D.
only because of D&D.
only because of fucking D&D. Anyway,
I know of it because of Jackie Chan. There's an entire movie about it.
Oh, Zyquan, yeah.
I know of it.
It's a
I know of
Chinese
it
fighting
because I
style.
think it was.
Yep.
I think it might have been. I think Dead or Alive 4 had a character that drinks.
Ah,
And there's actually a button you can press to drink.
oh, so you can do Zyquan.
Yeah. But yeah, see other games. I said Persona 5,
course.
Horizon Zero Dawn. I said Absolver,
Absolver.
Near Automata, and
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah, Senua's Sacrifice is supposed to be really
I-
good too.
Don't know what either of those.
I'm not
two
gonna
are
explain. I'm not
either.
gonna explain much about Hellblade because
Okay.
it is a game that I would suggest either playing or watching in one sitting.
Okay, that's fair.
It's 6
Right.
hours. It's a story-based
Oh.
action
Oh,
game.
Yeah,
okay.
it's not very long.
It's $30.
Oh my
And
god,
It
that's
Yeah.
looks beautiful.
is it super
Yeah.
good though? Like, is it the
It's-
$30 worth it?
I've never heard anything bad about this game.
I've heard some bad things. Like people are like, "Oh, it's just a walking simulator," but it's a walking.
I mean,
It's a walking simulator that has a very cinematic looking fighting style.
yeah.
Like there's actually an attack that you get for running, and it looks
Right.
really, really
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Let's see. I guess the only thing I explain is that it has Norse mythology focused in on it,
I like that.
and it tries and it tackles a huge issue that not even many things in media try and tackle on correctly, which is
Okay.
mental illness.
Ah,
The main
Mm.
the main character has psychosis.
Oh,
And the developers actually
sucks.
the developers actually went out and like talked to people who have it and went to like research institutes, and they even had people who had it like play the game so that they can get the best, like most accurate portrayal of psychosis that they could find. And it works. Like like some of the it's funny because some of the complaints are like, "Oh, I don't like the voices," because it's recommended that you play this game with headphones because you will constantly be hearing voices that the character's hearing, and they're part of the gameplay too. Like if there's someone behind you about to attack you, they'll go behind you, or if like it's a good time to use your special ability, they go like focus. And people were like, I don't like those voices. They're kind of annoying. It's like, oh, well, now imagine having those for your whole entire life.
Yeah, neither do people with psychosis.
And the thing is, the combat isn't extremely fun. But the thing is, neither is she having fun. It is a female main character.
Yeah,
by the
that's
way.
true.
It's a female main character, and her performance, meh. Like underlined hundreds across the board with okay hand sign emojis. No, seriously, like it's one of the best performances I've ever seen in a video game.
Wow.
And here's the thing:
That's saying something.
she's never acted
Huh.
Ever?
ever. She's the video editor for the developing team,
Oh.
and yes,
Wow.
she's like she won an award from the Video Game Awards.
Oh.
She-
Rock
like I
on.
don't know if you ever watched the Video Game Awards. She was the one that went up in her mocap suit because she
Huh.
didn't just voice act it. She put in her she had to facial cap and mocap. She had to like work out to get to like to a certain point. Like she put everything into this, and it's just a beautiful game that like has a really good message. Especially when you like look at videos of people who played it who have psychosis, and they give stories of like this either helped me or my brother turned to me and he said, "I'm sorry, I was so like horrible to you for because of your mental illness." So yeah, good game. And it's made by Ninja Theory, who did DMC Devil May Cry.
Oh, cool.
Huh.
Not like Devil May
But
Cry.
it's not like they don't they like say they don't focus on the fighting in the game. They put in a basic fighting system and like just enough to have it as in there, and yeah, it's just I don't know, it's a really good game, and I think it's a very important game for the gaming industry because it shows that video game developers that are kind of like not indie but not AAA can make a game on their own.
Yeah, that is important.
And they made the game look better than any game out there. Like I would suggest look up. Let's see, I'll just get a picture. But yeah, those are my favorite games. How about you, Drew?
Well, I really got into Subnautica.
Nerd.
Yeah.
It didn't come out in 2018 for me, even though it did.
Oh no, I'm
like,
talking
for
about
me, it
favorite
was-
games of 2017.
Right, but it came out this year.
Okay, so this picture here. On the left is the character. On the right is the actress.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah. Anyway. So
Huh. Wow.
yeah, it's Mwah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a spicy meatball.
That is next level. That is next level in a nutshell.
And it's
How do you
$30.
how do you achieve next level? You do this.
And it's $30, and they were able to break even within
Wow.
much like before their what they expected. They broke even.
Jeez.
I think they expected to break even within a year, but they broke even within 3 months.
Wow.
So
Dang. I would say. So I played Subnautica and really enjoyed it because like I didn't actually start and finish the game until 2018, but
wanna get
2017 was
back into it.
when it came out to me.
I
Now that
think
it's
I'm just
actually
too- I think I'm just
released,
too much of a pussy.
I
whenever
don't blame you though.
Whenever
Holy
there's-
crap! this
Whenever
game.
there's just water like water you have to go in a game, I'm just like
Mhm.
anything can be in there. Anything
Yeah.
can be in there. And like I mean Wolfenstein proved me right. There's an alligator at one point in Wolfenstein.
I mean, you aren't wrong. I've
aren't.
played balloon
Amnesia:
fights.
The Dark
The
Descent.
water is the danger.
And you can't even see it until it's like 20 feet away.
And
Nope.
how about Amnesia: The Dark Descent? There's a part in
Yeah.
that game where there's an invisible monster and you can only see it because it's in water.
It's in the water. Yep.
Yeah.
Good old footsteps.
So,
I
like-
think though.
Whenever there's an invisible enemy in a game, I'm like, I think I'm good. I think that's a good enough of a game
No.
for now. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done playing.
I'm good.
I'm out.
good.
Did the Evil Within 2 come out in 2017?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I loved that. They really, they really kind of dropped the serious horror aspect and sort of did a tongue-in-cheek action adventure game.
I'm glad they did.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause it's a
kind of glad they did
ridiculous
too.
concept.
Because it's a
It is.
ridiculous
It's a-
concept.
No, you're absolutely right. It's a ridiculous concept, and they didn't do a good enough job explaining it to where they could keep going with it unless they did something.
Yeah.
And the thing they did made it. They did something that made enough sense, and that was okay because they switched it to tongue in cheek. And I think that decision to make the switch worked out super well because the game is amazing.
Like, I will say, the gameplay reminds me a lot of Last of Us,
Yeah. It does.
which isn't
It's
exactly a bad
lot.
thing, but it's a lot of Last of Us.
It's a lot of The Last of Us. I mean, the combat is something that you want to go do so you can get the brain goop to upgrade your shooty skills.
The brain goop.
I'm still in the first chunk, if you know what I mean.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so because I'm a pussy.
Because I'm a
Yeah,
pussy.
you gotta go hunt things down on purpose because like I got because I saw the game played once before, I became such an unstoppable badass.
Yeah,
That
I think I'll just need to watch like two best friends play the game, and then I might be good with playing it.
That's a good choice. And it see on the Evil Within 1, I focused on the Agony Crossbow because you can get parts for it and
What's
just
the one in this one
make
called?
ammo. The Warden Crossbow.
I like that name better.
I do too. Like that, and it looks cooler and it works so much better. In the first game, it's super weird. It shoots like a limp slingshot.
Like a limp
To
slingshot.
show you that, I mean, yeah, they even show you that because the aiming reticle is literally a line that that emerges from the gun, and it gets straighter and straighter until it can't go any much farther.
Right, and so the Warden Crossbow fires really well. Still not like a real crossbow, but definitely
enough.
better.
Drew.
Yes.
You're in your daughter's mind.
Yeah, that's true. You're in your daughter's
I'm
mind,
sorry, but,
and
you know.
other people's minds are in her mind, and you talk to those other people
And
who are
Kidman
changed
is
by her
suddenly
mind.
hot.
And Kidman is suddenly hot. I can't wait to play these games.
Well, like Kidman, like I just didn't
They're
like the look.
so
I
good.
didn't like the look of Kidman in the first game.
Yeah.
And then the second game's like, that looks a lot like Jill Valentine.
These games are so funny, and I like making fun with them, not of them, because in reality, both games are great games. It's just a lot of the horror from the first one was gore horror, and I'm not scared of blood and guts. I'm really badly desensitized to it. So
Walking
I'm
Dead.
just like, right, exactly. And shows while I was growing up, like Ren and Stimpy was an acceptable cartoon for children when I was a kid, so I'm desensitized to a lot of shit. But like, it was just a fantastic game. It was suspenseful. You didn't know what was going on. And then Sebastian Castellanos is one of my favorite protagonists.
Sebastian Castellanos, detective with a knife.
Anybody in here? Anybody want some of this?
No, nobody's here. Okay.
I love his character, and the more I learned about him and the more I listened to him talk, the better of a human being he became. This guy
They didn't really do that much in the first game, did they?
No, he didn't, and that was much to my dismay.
He was
But
much
the
of an
second
asshole
game,
in the first game.
well, he sounds like that because they were going for like the grizzled detective.
Well, I know the actor who
angry
played him in the first game.
detective. What?
I know the actor you played in the first game. Like, if you ever watched Hell on Wheels, the main character of that game is played by Sebastian Castellanos from the first Evil Within. Kind of
Man,
sad
I
they took
didn't
him
even
out, but
notice.
you know, whatever.
I am sad, but I didn't even notice they changed their voice actor, which until I actually looked it up on IMDb. That was crazy. Like, you guys might notice a difference. I did not. Of course, it's I I'm not very good at identifying people by their voice, which is super weird because I want to be a voice actor. But
Right.
whatever.
The irony
The-
is not lost on us.
The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2 are really great games, and I love The Evil Within 2. 2017, that was a great game. That was probably my favorite actual
2017 was the best
release.
game.
Yeah, 2017
But
was
to be
the
honest,
best one.
2017 was the best year in gaming for
In a long
while.
time,
for a
yeah.
long
A
ass time.
long time.
Sure.
There's a lot to name that.
And
was
it's funny
good.
because it's the year that microtransactions came to invade and loot boxes.
But it didn't seem to make things suck unless you're EA, which
Unless you're EA.
you already sucked,
Which-
so you really couldn't
right.
suck more than you already did.
They
But I haven't
They
played
sucked
Breath of the Wild.
They sucked so much that the government got involved.
Yeah, you're so shitty that the government had to get involved because you're to tell you how bad you are.
I just wanted to play a pink, Vader for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Right?
But we
That's all
wanted
I
you to
wanted.
feel a sense of accomplishment.
There is a sense of accomplishment. I'm playing a fucking pink
46
goddamn
hours
Darth
of
Vader.
gameplay sense of accomplishment.
I didn't get to play Breath of the Wild yet, and I haven't
I
played
still
Mario
haven't
Odyssey
played
yet.
I've played
still haven't
like
had it?
20 minutes of it.
And those two games are like top tier amazing releases, but I haven't played them yet, so I can't talk about them.
Well, it's funny because no, go ahead.
One game that's in development right now that I started in 2017 that is super great, and I think it is from the creators of Don't Starve. It's called Oxygen Not Included.
Oh yeah, I heard.
Oh
that.
yeah, it's supposed to be really good.
And it is probably my favorite game that hasn't released in
It's early
2017,
access.
2018.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it right now.
I think Cly made Don't Starve, but Cly definitely makes
think-
Oxygen Not
I
let
think
me
it
check,
was.
actually.
I think it was. Don't
Yeah,
Starve.
Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together are made by the same industry,
Okay,
the same
cool.
people.
Gotcha. But these, Oxygen Not Included is a game where you are, your people that went on an expedition through space had a malfunction that is unknown, and a printing pod, a ration box with rations, and 3 duplicants appeared mysteriously in the middle of an asteroid.
More like duplicants, am I right?
Got him. Got
This
him.
guy.
Kill.
Got him.
Got him.
So you have to dig through the asteroid, and you use the material that you dig to build things. And the idea of the game is to generate a consistent, renewable oxygen source. The problem is none of it's renewable. You have algae deoxidizers, you have water electrolyzers, and there's one more thing that the algae terrariums, and all your resources are limited. It's just a matter of how long they'll last, and you have to try to manage it so that your resources last long enough, and the longer you go, the better you do. So there's no end yet. They're still working on an end, but they've got a really good framework going so far. And now it sucks that no matter what you do, you will eventually die because the asteroid is so far finite. And since it's finite, it is possible to mine every block in it.
Huh.
Which I don't think I haven't seen done. I suppose I could look it up online, but you can mine out the entire map and have it just be one huge base.
Speaking of like endings, I know Subnautica hasn't. You can. Subnautica came out, right?
Yes, it launched.
And it has an ending, now,
does.
right?
It does have
And
an
that
ending.
ending
You can
includes
completely-
leaving a capsule that other players can find.
I think so. Yes.
Because I remember there's one tweet where the person was like, "All right, so I found this capsule and there's a lot of fish in it or whatever, so I just ate them all." And it's like,
Oh,
there's
right.
there's a note, and it's like, all these fish in here are my friends. Treat them well.
They like to eat these fish I've left in here so that you can feed them easily.
And the guy's just like, well, fuck.
Oh, damn it. There's I left a bunch of super useful bullcrap in my time capsule. I left one of the things that I got in one of the time capsules that I found, because I found a time capsule and it had the heat knife that you can make. It had a repair tool, which I already had, and it had a Cyclops depth module and a Seamoth depth module. And I was like, oh, cool. This is neat. Now I don't have to build those things. And then I found another one, because I didn't see the note on the first one. I have no idea what the note was at all. But the second one, I did see the note. It was just 4 floaters. And they're just little one-space mobs that you can just pick up that do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, technically, if you stick them to an object, that object will float to the surface. So, I mean, like, it does something. But the note was floaters, because why not? And I was like, there is no way that they programmed this capsule into the game. And then I learned about the time capsule. Like, at the end of the game, you can launch 8 spaces worth of stuff, and then I guess it appears in other people's games? I don't know. I haven't looked that up yet. But I think I did definitely encounter time capsules from other people. And so I left that knife that I got in my time capsule. And then I left another tool, I think a builder's tool, yeah, because I was thinking, like, role-playing wise, oh man, what if somebody who doesn't know all of this Altera technology does? What if they're just, like, some primitive guy? So they'll never be able to, like, they won't have an escape pod with a fabricator in it. So I left them the building tool that allows them to build a fabricator.
And someone in another game's like, what the fuck is this? Who decided?
I left it with an ion battery in it, though, so it lasts 5 times longer than a regular one. And then I left the survival knife. So I was like, here's the knife that'll let someone eat cooked fish until they get the resources to build, even if they're a primitive person. And then I left 4 upgrades to the prawn suit. And the prawn suit, like, I never used the Cyclops. I built the Cyclops, tried to take it on an adventure, and it sucked so much I left it alone. I was like, screw this thing. Markiplier loves this thing. Fuck the Cyclops. It is huge. Everything attacks it. It catches on fire constantly. I hate it. I hate that damn thing. I wish I was recording YouTube videos, because that would have been the funniest episode. Oh, I was, like,
I mean, to be fair,
audibly screaming.
To be fair, when the thing constantly began starting on fire and wailing apprehensively at him about everything possibly going wrong, it was pretty fucking hilarious.
It was very funny.
Then he leaves it, comes back, why is it on fire again?
It was just agonizing. So I exclusively used well, what does he call it? What did Mark call his prawn suit?
Oh, apparently Tristan's watching us, and he goes, in regards to the time capsule thing in Subnautica, yes, it's how it works. The capsule appears in another person's game. That doesn't clarify how random that happens to be.
I see.
He happened to message me on Discord. I don't know why he's not typing in just the regular chat on the stream.
Regular chat.
Yeah, no, at least one of us is watching that.
Well, that's clarified. That is clarified. Though, what? Because he has it was Bubble Butt, then it was Bumble Butt, then it was Bubble Gum,
Yeah.
then it was
'Cause
Big
they got-
Box Berry. What was his prawn suit's name?
Mr. Fister.
Mr. Fister. That's
The same
right.
thing I called Doomfist. That's why all of a sudden I watched the video with the prawn suit and I was like, damn it, now everyone's gonna think I didn't come up with that name, but I totally didn't have to have any influence or mark on that.
Mr. Fister. That's right. So I put all of the Mr. Fister upgrades into the time capsule, and I left a note. I was like, I never used anything other than the Seamoth and the prawn suit. So here are all the upgrades for the prawn suit if you want to just like speed run the game. But if you don't want to, then don't use these.
Don't use this.
But like, cause if I found that, I'd be like, okay, these are all end game things. There's no way the programmers intended on time capsules to like were programmed in here. It has to be something that other players can leave to each other. So I wouldn't use them. But I know there are plenty of people who would be like, okay, this is cool. I've got all this stuff. I'll use it when I want to. Because like Subnautica's a 30-hour game.
Easily.
It took me 30 hours anyway.
Oh yeah,
For-
Brett,
for
you
story-
wanna know how long it took me to beat Persona 5 the first time?
Lelth said Persona 5 is like a 90-hour game.
It took me 138 hours.
138? Yeah, I believe it.
And I'm actually playing the game again because I haven't done some things. So.
Because you've lost control of your life.
Because I've
We-
lost... Oh yeah, I mean that was a while ago.
Why are you making pudding at 4 a.m.? Because I've lost control of my life. The Rugrats was such a real show.
It was too real. Just far too real.
I love it. I loved Rugrats. That was such an amazing show.
Anyway, so
But those are my games.
my
And Ahead in Time.
coming
But I
into
haven't played it.
2018, I had 2 games pre-ordered. I had
Oh, okay.
I had Monster Hunter World
Which I hear is the best one in the series.
and Shadow of the Colossus remake. Monster Hunter World's amazing. It was my first game, and one thing I got out of it is that the community is extremely welcoming.
Okay.
They were very helpful. They were very just like, hey, you want to like? I asked like if I could join like a Discord group of some people who were playing the new Monster Hunter, and they like completely welcomed me in. And it's just like, I guess because there's no PvP element to the game, there's no like competitive element. It's just we're fighting monsters together. But anyway, enough about that bullshit. Let's talk about the cats.
Let's talk about the cats.
Have you guys ever heard of the Meowscular Chef?
I've seen
I
the
have
videos
not.
for it because I don't own the game, but I'm like, that's probably the one reason I would go out and buy this game is this thing
It should
specifically.
be the only reason you buy the game.
It's the only reason you need to buy this game is this
Basically,
thing
there's
specifically.
there's this chef at the hub area that like cooks food, and
What?
you eat food to like have certain stat boosts for the next hunt. And when you first meet him, he's talking about like buffs whatever, max gains, it's all about max gains.
He's like the ultimate protein-powered fucking personal trainer guy, chef dude ever.
Max.
Yeah,
Max
and-
Gaines cat.
Every time you order like a meal, an amazing cutscene will play where it just shows the cats cooking it. And it's like he pulls out his huge sword and starts cutting the meat, and and then when you eat it, there's a cat right next to you, and after you finish eating, the cat just throws the cover of the plate into the air and just starts clapping like, yeah. Basically, it's a game you can create your own character, obviously, and you also get to create your own palico, is what they call it, which is your cat
Palico.
partner.
Really?
And I
What?
yep,
It's called a palico.
it's called a palico.
That is the most adorable thing I've ever heard in my life.
I decided to make my palico look like my cat Mickey.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just the Palicos really do help a lot. Like they can usually they have to distract the monster. They're basically meant as like a partner when you're not doing co-op.
It's the hunter pet.
Yeah, but like as soon as there's more than 2 players in a game, the Palicos are taken out.
Oh.
Yeah. But what's cool about this is that, people in my squad, I can find their Palico, or people I traded guild cards with. I can find their Palicos in the world, and they will join me in my Palico in the hunt. And, But the biggest thing I actually like about this game was that every weapon is fun. Like there is no weapon that's like oh this weapon's meant for you, this weapon meant for you. Like no, you can, if you put the time in, you can have fun with any weapon in this game.
That is really cool.
And there's a bunch of cool weapons too. If you're a support person, you can get a hunting horn, which is basically like a huge instrument that plays songs that buff people. It's like Lucio except without being black, and without the speed, because it's actually a pretty big weapon. But I picked the longsword because first of all, it's the easiest one, and it also dishes out the most damage, and it has a huge anime slash where you jump into the air and then slice down, and it has that anime thing where it has the line cut through them, and then and then it actually does the damage. So that's actually pretty cool.
I barely didn't even feel that. You are already dead. Nani?
Yeah. Omae wo shinderu. Nani?
Fucking to the North Star.
Monster Hunter World is a really good game, and it's definitely one that people should try out. Shadow of the Colossus. It's technically my first time playing the game.
Yeah, it's a given though. That game is amazing.
Yeah, but like things that people have talked about, some people seem to think that the face changes that the main character goes through don't happen in this game. And the thing is, they do. It's extremely subtle.
Yeah, because game engines evolve and change and adapt to not 2003 bullshit.
Yeah, it was just
to those people, I will say one thing. It's 2018. Let Super Smash Bros. Melee die.
Oh my god. I watch a lot of Two Best Friends, so I know about that Melee discourse.
My god, let it die. It's like trying to say Morrowind is still a relevant game.
But it needs to go into the
No,
Switch.
it's not. No, it doesn't.
Port it to the Switch.
No, it's never gonna get ported. They'll make a new Smash Brothers that is balanced and not garbage.
Port it to the Switch.
See, now that I will agree with you on.
That just needs to be on every console ever.
It needs to be on a handheld. It needs to be on phone games.
It needs to be on my calculator. It needs to be on my treadmill.
Yes. It needs to be able to be played on my treadmill while I'm exercising.
I need to be able to play it in my eyeball.
Yes. My Google glasses need to be able to play this game.
Yeah, so...
Smash Brothers Melee is basically... what they call techniques are actually unintended glitches. They're not supposed to be part of the game. And that's... It's cool that people like Melee, but like the tournament scene is... How good you can get at exploiting those glitches to your benefit.
It may as well be Speedrunners the competition, which
right.
is better done with shit like Mega Man or Zelda.
Or the most often speedrun game in the history of gaming, Super Metroid.
Yeah,
but I agree.
Super Metroid. But yes, that's where that belongs, not in Smash Brothers.
Right, not in Smash Brothers. Right, you gotta exploit every single thing you can to do speedrunning. For sure, absolutely do that. But oh my gosh,
you have to do that to be
in
good
a
at game
where there are regulated tournaments, there should not be
any form of exploitation capable of being done.
Speaking of tournaments, did you guys hear about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
I did not.
I didn't either, but it sounds good. I have a Marvel vs. Capcom signed by Tara Strong and John Delancey, if that counts for anything.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out, I'm pretty sure it was 2017. And it sucks.
Oh.
the character models look so bad.
Whoops.
I guess the fighting isn't good in it either. Two best friends are like really big people when it comes to, like big into fighting games. So when they play it, they're like, "Yeah, this game's shit."
This game is
But
shit.
it's so bad that it actually got it was barred from being played at EVO, which is the fighting game tournament.
That bad.
Oh.
It's that bad. So
God, you gotta be pretty bad to get banned from
Capcom,
EVO.
you're
Get your
doing
shit
you're
together.
doing they did get their shit together though, because Resident Evil 7 came out that same year.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
And
Resident Evil
Resident
7
Evil
is
7.
good.
Which is incredible.
I've been playing Resident Evil 7. It is an amazing game. I will say that
All the DLC is amazing.
the actor for Jack is the best. And just everyone in the Baker family except for maybe Zoe.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's
I
a great
really like
game.
Lucas.
I love showing people the first hour of the game.
Oh yeah.
Like, when I got it on
Apparently
Christmas, I was
hosting a
like,
dunk
okay.
contest.
Like when I first got on Christmas, I also got it along with the Insane trilogy. Me and my sister
okay.
used to love playing games back when we had like a PS1. So we played that for a bit, and I'm like, okay, I need to show you guys Resident Evil 7 for like an hour. And yeah, because the first hour in Resident Evil 7 is some of the craziest shit you've ever seen since Metal Gear Solid 5. Nothing can really beat Metal Gear Solid 5 because there's a flaming whale that comes out of nowhere in Metal Gear Solid 5.
There's a flaming whale. Yeah, I've heard about the
What?
flaming whale of randomness.
searching
It doesn't
right
even have any reason. It's just there.
Cause Moby Dick. Remember? Call me Ishmael. No, but yeah, no, because
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. All I have to do for YouTube is search Flaming Whale, and then it autofills Metal Gear Solid 5.
it's the only time a flaming whale has ever been in media.
I don't know. The Renaissance era was really weird. I'm
But
gonna
even
watch
then,
this.
Death Stranding looks weirder.
Yeah. Oh my God. Death Stranding.
I'm actually
Oh,
I
I'm
am
going to play that.
I am so excited for Death Stranding. You know that part in the
I
water?
want this fever dream.
You know that part in the water where when he's in the water?
Mhm.
That's actually playable.
Oh my
It's,
God.
and not only that, it's the game over screen. You go around and you pick up the items that you pick up items, and then you have them on your next body, I guess. So there's some crazy ass shit like aging Rain. The Rain was aging that dude. That's why they're all wearing hoods, and then there's like fucking Guillermo del Toro holding a baby, and that baby somehow gets into Norman Reedus' stomach, and then don't forget about Mads Mikkelsen.
Are we talking about the game that Kojima's making that I'm pretty
Yes!
sure by the time it releases will just be a bi-monthly basket of curated snacks? 'Cause
Yes, it
they
is.
decided it's not going to be a game, and that it wasn't a game in the first place. Because that wasn't what we were actually making.
I honestly think it is like it seems like knowing Kojima, he doesn't. Sure, he has long cutscenes, but he does make a game.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid hasn't been just cutscenes. It's always been like
No, but there's a lot of Metal Gear Solid that just doesn't make any sense at all. It gets so over
Yeah,
everyone's
but fuck you.
Yeah, but fuck you. He's Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, he's a
A
Kojima.
giant-
Look at all these Konami tiers.
Look at
he's
this-
making.
Yeah.
A giant
Speaking
flaming whale.
speaking of Konami,
eats
Metal
a
Gear Survive. Am I
helicopter.
right?
Honestly, the only Konami tears I'm like shedding is the fact that Snake is not in the newest Super Smash Brothers. What the fuck,
Yeah.
Konami? Get your shit together and stop being
I'm
shitty.
still wondering why Black Tiger isn't in the new Super Smash Bros.
So he's gonna be in the next one on the
He's
Switch.
gonna
It's
be in
gonna
the
be a
next one.
thing.
He's better.
Yeah,
He's
he's
already
gonna be in the next
nominated.
I knew it. I remember one time they actually had those they had a vote for like who do you guys want next in the Super Smash Bros. And
I mean,
I put Bread from I Am Bread.
Bread from
Bread
Bread.
from I Am Bread. To be fair, I put down Shantae, but then I was
This is a
really
good one.
happy.
That
I
one
was
makes
really
sense,
happy.
but This is the thing. That one
That
makes sense.
That would make sense. I was really happy though to see Bayonetta get added.
Bayonetta
Yeah.
is a great character.
I feel like drawing attention to her games again was a good idea.
On top of the
As
fact
long
that
as
we're
it's not
getting a
Cloud.
3.
Oh wait.
Oh wait, we're gonna reboot that game. Okay.
Wait, what?
Oh, I don't mind the reboot for Final Fantasy VII. I just Cloud doesn't belong in Smash.
No, he doesn't.
You take that back.
He's in there, but he doesn't
He
belong there.
belongs
Boy.
in Soul Calibur, not Smash Brothers.
He does. Actually
I
belong in
can
Soul
see
Calibur.
him be in Soul Calibur. Yup.
He belongs in
that
fucking
is-
Monster Hunter.
Let's be fair. Cloud belongs in Super Smash Brothers about as much as Link belonged in Soul Calibur 2.
So yeah. Yeah.
But he did
exactly.
belong in Soul Calibur too.
Oh,
That's where he meant,
yeah.
that's where he meant to be.
No.
Soul Calibur
He
3, not
was
so much.
born for Soul Calibur.
But smooth transition as we're
Nintendo
in the
made Legend of Zelda
while we're
so
on the
that Link
topic
could
of
get into Soul Calibur 2.
yeah. While we're on the topic of reboots, however, let's smooth transition over to the fact that Secret of Mana got a reboot release recently.
Oh, I
How is
know.
it?
Why-
I'm pretty excited about being
I
able to play
want
I
this.
heard it
that
came out recently,
pretty
actually.
hard.
It did. It was on the 15th actually.
How
like
is
2
it?
And
days
it's
ago.
on the PS4, right? Because Heather Breckle's playing. it.
PS4 and it's on Steam. I haven't been able to
Oh,
purchase
shit,
it
are
because
you
I don't
serious?
have $40, but yes, it's on Steam. This game is as old as I am. I
Wait,
never got
did
to play this on the Super Nintendo.
Dude, how do you
Oh,
not
I
know,
own-
wait,
I-
Drew, how do you
oh.
not know much about Monster Hunter when Heather's been playing it?
Oh, I.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
have an explanation for this.
I do not.
did.
I own one. Okay, so you know how like Earthbound and Chrono Trigger and Super Metroid and all the good games that are amazing on cartridge and they're worth like $200 now. At least Earthbound is.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of them. I mean, I guess I had Super Metroid, but I actually do own a functioning original cartridge of Secret of Mana.
Really?
Yep. And
That's impressive.
I have a Super Nintendo and a controller right there that I can plug into the wall and it will work. So
That's
like
pretty
You plug
cool.
the controller into the wall or the game into the wall or the,
I
The
plug it into
controller.
wall?
The
What do you plug
controller
into the wall?
specifically.
I like
can
playing the
const-
wall.
I can play my house with a controller and it's voiced by Pierce Brosnan. That's a Simpsons
Why Pierce
reference.
Brosnan?
yeah,
That is
I
a
don't know. It's a
Sim- that is
Simpsons
a
reference.
Simpsons reference.
Oh.
I still don't know why it's Pierce Bronson, but that's
Well,
probably the only way they'd get him
Pierce
on the show.
Brosnan.
Homer and Marge automated their house, and the AI was voiced by Pierce Brosnan, and it was one of those horror episodes.
Oh, okay.
And then the house started like trying to kill them.
Was,
It was it's one of the
Oh,
Halloween
yeah.
episodes.
One of the
Amityville
Halloween
Horror.
episodes that makes sense.
The Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Mm.
Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, so Secret of Mana is a thing, and that's awesome. The other
Yeah, it
big,
really is.
the other big game that I want, besides Bayonetta 3 and New Metroid, holy fucking crap!
Yeah.
What are you
people
talking about? There's
looking
one
forward to
2 years ago.
that.
Federation Force, man. All the way. What are you talking about? Best
you
Metro
mean
game.
you mean Rocket League? I hope you mean Rocket League, because it's literally what that game was Rocket League.
I think you mean Federation Force.
I think.
I'm pretty sure I mean
Best-
Metroid
best
Rocket
Metroid
League.
Game, best Metroid game. Samus can go
Wait.
fuck off.
Well, this is all 3D and shit.
It's all 3D and shit.
All 3D and shit.
Well, no, I thought they re-released like the top-down 2D version of Secret of Mana.
This is a
all
full
models.
reboot, rework, everything. Yeah.
And the sprite still
Yeah.
doesn't look like a boy. That makes me super happy.
Yeah, it's
Be-
super like you.
Because the sprite is a boy.
yeah.
What does it
It's
look
the
like?
it's the Magikarp jump.
I will get
thing.
you. I will get you a picture.
What does he?
Yeah.
What does he look like to you? Like, because Shadow of the Colossus kind of went through the same thing where you still don't know.
The
Like, it's like
Sprite
if you-
has long, flowing red hair with loose green robes and pink bulbs in his
if you
hair.
were to
and
if you were
blush,
to- if you
rosy
were to take
blush.
a look at like Wander from Shadow of the Colossus and not be told what his gender is, would you think he's a boy?
I have to search the picture.
In the first
Honestly,
game, the
it
first game,
might
I
be
thought-
because I play Square Enix games so much, especially with the Toriyama style. I can see the difference between the male and female characters easily.
Yeah, but
That-
Drew,
that might just
considering
be
you
me.
like games like Earthbound and like turn-based, right?
Love those.
Yeah, you would
love-
Yes, turn-based
You
combat.
would love Persona 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Have you
It's
seen?
like
and
the
also, have you
perfect game for
have you
me.
seen the UI?
The user interface? Yes, it's so.
The best. I will say,
smooth.
I'm gonna be bold here. The best UI ever made.
I can see that. That is a picture of the 3 original pixel art characters.
He looks like he's from the 80s. Or set
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he looks
Yeah,
like
he
he's
does.
right out of the fucking
safety dance or some bullshit.
Yeah, right out of Safety Dance deal.
Men without hats.
Yep.
The safety dance. And then
Wait.
this is concept art from Secret of Mana. This is the way that they.
Do we?
Actually, I think I can get. Do we? Yes,
Do we?
queen.
Yeah, spit on the non-believers.
I wonder if I can find a better picture of this. No, that's too small.
Do you ever see like a bunch of people thinking Wakanda is a real country?
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a thing.
Also, I've heard good things about Black Panther, by the way.
I've only heard good
Me
things
too.
about it. Like the
I mean, I was
pacing
going
could
to
be
say
a
it's
little
more-
better.
kind of iffy on reviews for the Black Panther because
Yeah.
there is a tweet out there going like, if you give it a bad review, you're racist. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, there are stupid people on both sides.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I won't defend my fellow liberals. Sometimes they're just brainless fools.
Yeah. Yeah. As
Yeah,
someone who is actually like legitimate libertarian, the new liberal is about as relevant to me as the new feminism. And that's in air. I was doing air quotes for a reason because they are two different things in both cases.
But now there's a crosswalk sign that has a woman on it. Feminism has succeeded. It's over. We don't need to do anything anymore.
There's what the sprite looks like now.
Yeah.
Both boys.
I was making that same
I
joke
love
when they
it.
were talking about Lady Doritos, but it turns out Lady Doritos wasn't actually the name of him.
Isn't actually a thing, yeah.
Now, are you talking about the person with the sword or the one with the staff?
Yes.
Right? He's just
Well, no,
like-
because the one with the sword legitimately looks male, but I'm curious as if you're talking about the
That
one with
looks
the
like an
staff is the one
adorable
you're
little
meaning.
baby.
I
piece
am
of shit.
talking about the one with the staff. The one with the sword is male. The one,
Oh, yeah.
the one that looks
the
like
one with the
Shantae
staff,
is
yeah.
female. The
Yeah.
one with the staff is actually male.
And the one with the
Oh,
boobs?
okay. I do like that it's a very gender neutral looking character.
What gender?
I like that too.
What gender is the one with the boobs?
That one's male.
I knew it.
No, that one's female. She is she's the defensive magic, and then the sprite, who is as foul-mouthed as a Super Nintendo game for PG-13 could be at the time, is he was like, "I'm not little and I'm super strong. You better take me." You know, that kind of character.
All right.
Speaking of
He has offensive.
Shadow of the
magic.
Colossus is really good. Like I said, it was technically my first time playing it. Last time the first time I actually did play it was the PS3 remaster, and I played it up to the third guy.
Okay.
Who is
Okay.
arguably the most iconic and like one of people's favorites. And I'm
Yeah.
Okay.
I
It's the
agree.
one everybody knows.
Yeah, I will say some of my favorites are the ones. My favorites are the ones that are in the air. I'm gonna be honest. Phalanx and Avion, because they're just. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and to satisfy the people that would be in our audience if we had one. Oh, well, I'm only looking at YouTube. We probably could have other people. But anyway, if people are like, what? Cuphead came out in 2015? Yes.
Yeah, it did. I haven't played it.
Cuphead, I don't think any of us have freelance, have you?
I intend
have
on
not,
playing
but I
it.
have seen people, play it, and it looks
Okay.
like an amazing game that people didn't really put. Like, do you know what the developers went through just to get that game made?
It
They put
was
mortgages. They
entirely-
both
yeah.
put mortgages on both of their houses.
Yeah.
Holy
And
crap.
But the thing with it though, and why I'm so interested to play it is not only am I like growing up, and a lot of people don't know this about me. Growing up, one of my heroes, I wanted to grow up to be like this guy, and used to stay up till 2 a.m. to watch the show,
Steamboat Willie.
which only Drew would probably remember that he would get his stuff would get featured on.
I know it.
Is Tex Avery.
Oh, Tex Avery. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of the show, but I know you know what I'm talking about. I like Cuphead
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's done in that traditional old style, like all of Tex Avery's original works were done for Bugs Bunny and that.
What most
Which
people
is
say
funny
is what most people
because-
say is Steamboat Willie.
Right. A lot. What most people say is Steamboat Willie, and both of that is actually not what Cuphead's based on, though Tex Avery did actually draw his inspiration from the people that Cuphead drew the inspiration from. His name was Max Fleischer. And
I
he
think I remember that name.
He was Disney's primary rival, just like Thomas Edison's primary rival was that one fat guy that lost. And I don't remember his name because history basically erased him.
Wasn't Thomas Edison the fat guy?
No, Thomas Edison was...
Because Tesla isn't fat.
No, Tesla isn't.
Tesla's also a real scientist and engineer.
Yeah. Unlike Thomas Edison.
Fucking got him 200 years later.
I hate Thomas Edison.
Yeah,
everybody should. Every legitimate engineer and scientist despises that man because he's literally
Fuck
cancer.
that guy. Fuck the guy who decided to fuck with people saying it's aluminium. It's aluminum, goddammit.
I love you guys. But yes, Max Fleischer was the one who created Betty Boop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Betty
and there were other iconics, and like Bendy and the Ink Machine, which is a game.
Yes,
that's still
Bendy
around.
and the Ink Machine.
That game is also based on Max Fleischer's animations.
Apparently that game is like horrifying.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I saw Mark play it, but I don't. I love Mark. I just don't think he's playing it with the right attitude.
Well, he's playing it with the
I'll
attitude
be playing
of,
with
okay,
Evil Within 1 attitude again.
Well, he's got to do it. He usually has to do it with his usual attitude where he's loud and all that
right.
stuff. Like,
I think
there's a reason why he didn't play Hellblade. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
True.
Because
So I think that Max Fleischer's animation style. I'm glad that it's kind of making a resurgence because I watched Bendy and the Ink Machine. I watched Matt Pat's the Game Theorist's review of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and he was talking about Max Fleischer, and I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot about this guy, and he's one of the biggest names in animation ever. But like Fat Guy, that was Thomas Edison's opponent that I don't remember the name of, history is starting to kind of forget Max Fleischer, and that sucks because Max Fleischer was really great and he got stomped all over because Disney was the one that won, not because Disney was a bad guy. Don't get me wrong, Disney was a really great man.
Guy,
he was not anti-Semitic and he was not like afraid of women or whatever. He puts strong female characters in every one of his animations because he lost his mother at a young age, and that's why he always wants women in all of his animations. So like I think Disney would be proud of the way the company is now and would have hated the shit out of Michael Eisner.
Michael Eisner was the one who did like what did he do?
I don't remember what he did.
He drove Disney to become a money-grubbing, greedy-ass corporation, and like he was just declining ideas that had progressive themes to them for movies. He only wanted the formulaic movie that would make money. And like he got caught up in a scandal of some kind. That it was like 18? No, it was 14 years ago when I was 18. That he got caught in a scandal or something. And the CEO was replaced, and then Disney actually their stocks after Michael Eisner left went way up. It was hilarious. They plummeted $32 when he was like 3 days before getting kicked out. And then as soon as he was kicked out, like weeks later, it went up back to where it was.
My favorite Disney movie is Mulan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can agree.
That is a good choice.
I can't wait for the Jennifer Lawrence movie to come out.
Right.
Oh, Mulan live action?
No,
I know they actually got an Asian woman. I'm just joking because that was the rumor going around.
The real live action movie everyone is excited for is John Cena plays Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem, yeah.
I don't care if it's terrible. I will spend the most expensive amount of money ticket-wise to go see this movie. Holy crap! I fucking love Duke Nukem.
It's gonna be so bad.
I don't care, like, people give me shit. I loved Duke Nukem Forever, as fucking horrendous that game was. I loved that game. It was stupid, and it was terrible.
I love how dumb that is, and it's. I love it. I just adore
Yeah.
that. I adore how excited you are about Duke Nukem the movie,
But no,
starring John.
yes, yes. But what's really got me excited for 2018, the real excitement, and I hope you guys understand why I'm so excited for this. Darksiders 3 was announced, and I feel like everyone just brushed over that during 2017.
All right, get out. Don't.
What?
I'm joking. I know people did actually kind of just.
Like, it
Well,
happened,
also-
we're like, we're getting Fury, Darksiders 3, like,
looked-
we didn't ever think a 3 was gonna happen.
looked
Here it is, it's
interesting.
gonna be a thing.
It looked interesting. I still have.
It
to,
looks
I s-
fucking sweet.
I still have to play Darksiders 2.
I've played 1 and 2, and I have the
Oh.
War Mastered Edition and the Definitive Edition in
Oh
my
my
queue
God.
Sorry,
for
say it
Let's Plays
correctly.
to
It's
do.
a definitive edition.
Well, it's
Holy
all the
shit.
DLC baked into both of them. But I intend on playing through both of them again for the Let's Play thing, because it's been a really long time since I've done them, and there's different things in the War Mastered and Definitive Edition.
Why have I never played this game? It
Yeah,
has
why have you not? It's amazing.
it has Troy Baker as Abaddon. It has the Charred Council for Fred Tatasciore, which is he's an incredible voice actor. Homer Simpson. If
Drew,
I
here,
remember correctly.
what sold me on it? All you need
Yes.
to know.
Draga. is
All
Troy
you need to
Baker.
know, Drew. All you need to know. War is voiced by the same guy who does Illidan Stormrage.
Who voices Death?
I think.
Oh,
it was
Liam
Matt
O'Brien
Mercer.
voices
Yeah,
War.
I think Matt Mercer did Death.
Matt, are
Uh,
you? No, I don't believe you.
I don't
War
know if I'm
is
right.
voiced by
so-
Michael-
Liam O'Brien.
Michael Wincott.
Oh, okay.
And
I
then
know
Mark
that in the
Hamill is the Watcher.
Yeah, that's it. Mark Hamill is the guy who looks like Kel'Thuzad.
And then
So it's
Phil
basically
Lamar,
Illidan Stormrage and Kel'Thuzad go to fight Kill
Phil
Jaden.
Lamar plays black guy, right?
probably Volgrim.
No,
Phil-
he's the coolest. He's one of the coolest characters in the game, actually.
Whenever anybody, because that reminds me, Freelance has said something that is absolutely true, though.
It is.
Whenever anybody says, who voices this character, and it's like a black character
Probably
in animation,
Phil Lamar.
I say, well, if it's a deep-voiced guy, it's Kevin Michael Richardson. If it's anyone else, it's Phil Lamar.
If it's anybody else, it's Phil Lamar. But if you haven't played Darksiders, you really gotta get yourself caught up with that.
No.
But one of the as far as
PlayStation 3. I have one of those.
Oh, then
you
you
can
can
just
play
get it on
Persona
Steam
5.
though. Yeah.
Wait, I can play Persona 5 on a PS3?
Yeah, there's a PS3 version.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because PlayStation was doing that for a while. I don't know, but they
Like,
were.
the thing is, like, they
War
stopped
Master.
making PS3s. I guess they didn't stop making PS3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I guess because
don't know.
Persona 5
Darksiders is on the Wii U, too.
Persona 5 was originally
Yep.
meant. Yeah, but who plays the Wii U? Persona 5 was originally meant for the PS3,
Right.
and so I think yeah, you can play it, Drew.
Third person.
I would say yeah.
Players take control of War. So
Yep.
you play as War, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yep.
You play as War in the first one, and then the second game you play as Death. And now the third game you'll be playing as
Ah.
Fury.
Which
So the
is-
only one we haven't got is the one I really want. Darksiders 4 will hopefully be Pestilence.
Famine, yeah.
it's just gonna
pestilence.
be a sick dude that walks around slow.
No, he's a sick dude, but how he walks around is fucking
Wait, is he a
amazing.
sick dude or is he a sick dude?
Is it a sick
Uh,
dude?
Actually, that's the only one we don't know if it's male or female. For certain.
Fury is female, right?
That's cool.
Fury is female, but I don't know anything about the fourth character. We don't know anything about the fourth horseman. Like
So
they don't
this-
show up at all.
Yeah, but from what
You
I
can get their
remember-
weapon,
what I-
but they
from
don't
what I
exa- they
remember
don't
of
show up.
Darksiders 3 footage, it looks pretty cool.
Oh, it looks fucking phenomenal.
This looks like God of War before it started sucking.
Yes, it's
this looks
exactly
like-
what it is.
I mean, we don't
Yeah,
know.
this looks
we don't know if the
like
new,
God of
we
War
don't-
1
we
and
don't-
2.
We don't know if the new one's gonna suck.
Yeah, that's true. We don't. It could be good.
I'm always a slut.
But as
for
far
Norse
as
mythology.
as far as, like, there's all the typical games for 2017 though that were really good, but one that gets my vote is probably most well-made game of 2017 was Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy.
Fuck off.
Oh my god!
Like, yes, it is a
Getting Over It
fucking
with
rage
Bennett
game.
Foddy.
It is intended to be horrifically pissed off at this game. But the fact that everything in that game is specifically hand-placed to be just so, and not only that, went to the time to go
That's
through and
pretty
explain
impressive.
the entire development of the game as a voiceover and interact
While
in
you
that
play
person
it.
while you're playing it is
Yeah.
something you don't get a whole lot with games, and it
the
was
developers of-
really well done.
The developers of Hellblade actually they put in dev logs of ever since they first like came up with the concept of the game and they began like production on it to 3 months after the game came out.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Trying to
You
think,
don't
like, what
really
else do I have that I played?
You don't see a lot of Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. That was a very well put together game.
I have
Yeah.
I know Mark doesn't subscribe to the whole philosophical side of what Bennett Foddy is saying to you as you're playing it, but I kind
Just
of
gets
do. Like,
mad at him.
he just gets mad at him and it's like, no, mute, and I'm like, let the man talk, because he's like, I don't care about your philosophical bullshit. It's like, I kind of do. I subscribe to that nonsense. I love stupid philosophical bullshit. That's like my entire life.
Wow, you would
So,
you would love
I-
Nier. You would love Nier Automata.
Yeah, you do very big on that.
I love that Bennett Foddy voiceover. Like, I thought it was extremely clever and very well done. And at the end, when he's talking about how you've made it this far, even though all of this stupid nonsense happened to you, you probably fell all the way back to the beginning at least once, and here you are, you're still going. And I think that's cool. That would make me feel good. Mark was just freaking out, and he's just. That's one of the big differences between him and me, is that he doesn't read between the lines. He only sees what's there.
Yeah, one of the other games I'd like
So
to
makes him
mention.
Good at first-person shooters.
Yeah, one of the other big things that I like about a game that came out in early development for this year is called Clone Drone in the Danger Zone. Now, face value, this doesn't do a whole lot as a game. It's not really, there's not a whole lot there. It's the underneath part of it that's so impressive. Not only does the developer have built into the game alerts to let you know when he is live on Twitch developing more of the game has something unique to it that I think is important to notice and like take note of as potentially the next level of what games can be for the entertainment setup of them. Is the fact this game has a Twitch mode, which allows you to sign in with your Twitch account, link it as an extension to your Twitch channel, and allows an extension where your viewers are able
not the
to
first time that
interact
happened.
with the game. It's the first time I've seen it.
No, I've seen plenty of like the first. I think pretty sure one of the first games that did it was Tomb Raider.
No, it's the first
Huh.
time I've personally seen it. And that's why I'm mentioning it with this one. If it's been done before,
It's
that's
been done
impressive as
multiple times
well.
Before. Cluster Trucks did it.
Never heard of it.
Did they? I've heard of Cluster Trucks.
In fact, sometimes the developer himself comes into Twitches and just starts fucking with people.
That's funny.
Like he actually is able to change what happens in the game.
Well, whether these guys did it first or not, it's still an impressive feature, and I'd like to see it in other things. I'd like to see more games that do that. That's cool.
Well,
I
just
like
told
that.
you like two of them.
Well,
There you go.
Yes, I know.
So there are two more. That's awesome.
There's at least
there's
two
another
more.
one called. Who cares? It's a shitty game.
Who cares? It's terrible.
That's a weird name.
They're
I mean,
both-
it's 2018. What else could we expect at this point?
That's true. That's true.
There's a game called Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy.
Yeah, that's a thing that exists too.
With Bennett Foddy. I want more games that are just the game title with Bennett Foddy. Like, can we get him to
The
narrate
whole
more
game's
games?
normal. He just narrates the game you're playing.
Welcome to Hideo Kojima's next game, Hideo Kojima.
Hey.
Hideo Kojima with Bennett Foddy.
With Bennett Foddy.
Why is nobody watching this? This is good shit. We're having a good time.
Hideo Kojima with Bennett.
Because I didn't spread the link out.
You
I
should have spread
played
the
that
link more.
game.
Spread that seed everywhere, dude.
Gotta spread it like a dank ass
Played
CD.
that game all day.
Like like a dank STD.
My entire life would revolve around Hideo Kojima with Bennett's
Yep.
body.
Yep.
I mean, we already have Hideo Kojima with Mads Mikkelsen and Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del
Wait,
Toro and
Norman
Hideo Kojima have like the
Reedus.
biggest romance I've ever seen.
They do.
They love each other, and it's adorable. Like they always
Oh,
retweet
God.
each other.
I
Always.
just bought
Back and forth.
Secret of Mana because I have to.
What?
I can't not own Secret of Mana.
Yeah, it's really good.
How are
If I
the
had the
reviews-
40
how are
bucks
the
to
reviews
drop,
for the
I would.
remake?
How does what?
How are the reviews for the remake anyway?
Let's check them out. Secret of Mana. Actually go to it, loser. Mixed.
Yeah, it says mixed reviews. That's interesting.
65% of the 494 users of this game are positive.
So
Well, people that are as old as I am are pieces of shit, so they probably just have bad opinions. Let me
probably
read
just
some of
wrong.
these.
seems like this guy's just upset about the fact that the game crashed,
Crashes, yeah, crashes all the time.
which can be expected on immediate launch. That happens.
Yeah.
No, it needs to
Oh.
be perfect. It needs to be perfect.
I'm truly saddened to say I refunded less than an hour in. The controls are awful. The combat lacks any real visual feedback on hits, and the less said about the remastered soundtrack and English voice acting, the better. I love the original, even though it was a buggy mess. This I
Yeah.
just don't. I can't, and it breaks my.
He's upset that they didn't use the original 2D SNES graphics of the game, and I feel like it wouldn't have done well if they did.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Poorly crafted attempt at nostalgia pandering by Square Enix. This remake managed to take the original game and make everything worse. It seems like the dev team had the goal of faithfully recreating the original in 3D, but failed to do so with nearly every
Meanwhile,
aspect.
over here at Shadow of the Colossus remake, some people are calling it one of the best remakes ever done.
Right.
He's upset
Uh,
with the fact that they added voice acting too, apparently,
believe
and
they're
the fact that the
talking.
music isn't the original like 16-bit music.
Right. A remake, a worthy remake with some quirks. I like that. I
Yeah,
honestly think anyone with
this
an open mind who enjoyed
gigantic-
the original will have fun with this.
Yeah, this gigantic first guy here who like refunded within an hour
Oh yeah.
sounds like a guy who just can't take the ruby shades off.
I think you're right.
So
And that's
Huh.
honestly looking through the other not recommended one, it's the same thing. I'm just seeing a lot of ruby shades. I'm
So
not
it's
seeing
Punch.
any. Yes, it's
Okay.
basically AJ.
New, new mechanics. There are indeed new mechanics, as was said. The new way to orient attacks isn't now cardinals only; it's 8-directional.
Which I would like that. I think that would be. A good
Oh yeah,
good
this
change.
person said they liked it too. This is a
Yeah.
good review person.
Yeah, all these.
this is a correct review.
Yeah, right. This
All of
is
these
a
not
correct
yeah.
review.
all of these not recommended reviews. I'm not saying it as a bias towards Enix or the game itself, because I've never played the original game myself. But from what I'm
It's
reading,
phenomenal.
looking at it from not only a developer but a reviewer standpoint, these guys are bitching and complaining that it's not just Secret of Mana SNES ported to Steam. When if you
right.
wanted to play that, just download the ROM.
Download the ROM, which is what you're supposed
need
to
to
do
put it
for
to
games you
Switch.
can no longer access. Or yeah, or buy a freaking
Or,
Switch
yeah,
and buy it on
or
the
buy a
Nintendo
Switch and just
eStore.
get it on the eStore. Exactly.
Everything needs to be ported to the Switch.
I agree. Just
I mean,
everything.
you're not wrong. Just literally
Horizons
everything
are-
can be
Literally
on it.
Everything except Morrowind, apparently.
No, not Morrowind. Fuck that shit. It needs to stay dead. We need Oblivion on it for the sole fact of the Shivering Isles expansion, because people need to grow up with
Jeez.
Sheogorath in their lives.
Shigara.
Without him
Sheogorath.
in your lives, you are not having a successful child.
I am nearly 16 edit now, 22.8 hours into the game, and I have just cleared an area of somewhat super far into the game. If you played the original and loved it to the moon and back, this is exactly the game where it honestly counts, such as story and general mechanics. The only thing up-touched or different about this is the graphics, voice actings, and some touch-ups on the system mechanics, mainly surrounding the battle system as well as the audio bugs that were so annoying on the SNES. What this means is that your buddy AI is like 1,000,000 times smarter than the SNES version. And on the off chance they get stuck in a corner like heart, you can still move away from them so you are no longer bound to them. Oh, good. Because in the old game, so let's say there's a place where you're at the top of the screen and then there's a barrier and then a way to go around the barrier. So you walk all the way to the right, go down, and then walk all the way to the left. Your characters that aren't you would get stuck on the barrier because they wouldn't follow you all the way. And if you tried to go further away to proceed, instead of just teleporting to you like most games would do now with companions, they just locked the camera in place and you couldn't go until you retrieved them.
Oh, fuck.
That's what this person is talking about.
Honestly, I'm just watching the trailer for it, and I'm super excited to buy this and play this game. Like, this looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks incredible. I don't.
The voice acting
understand
sounds
this.
really good, honestly. I
Yeah,
like it.
These reviewers are probably either huffy old men or bitchy young boys.
Yeah.
Wow, you're very exclusive there, man.
Hey,
You telling me?
But
you telling me girls can't bitch?
No, we're not. He's not saying that. He's just being very specific because it's just that accurate.
This person's name is White Ass.
I don't get
Yeah.
what you're implicating there, Drew. I don't.
He actually reviewed the game positively, so his opinion is correct.
His opinion is correct.
Oh wait, Freelance, I wanted to tell you this. You look, act, and sound like Peanut Butter Gamer.
Shit.
I just wanted to tell you that you could definitely you definitely got it. The Peanut Butter Gamers. I saw him do a collab with Matt, and I was like, "Oh my god, is that Freelance?"
I mean, it depends. Was his beard shaved, or is it still shitty and like old and scraggly?
It was shitty and old and scraggy.
Damn it.
So
He's like, "Damn it, that's what mine is."
this is biased, and I haven't even played it yet. But Dragon Ball FighterZ is and the best.
I can't hate Dragon Ball Fighter at all, like even if I wanted to, and the gameplay that I've seen from it is some of the most fantastic recreation of story/fighting game crossover I've ever seen in my life.
My personal favorite part is when you do special finishing moves on specific characters while playing specific characters. It plays it out in as close as possible and word for word as it actually played out in the show. Like, it
Yep.
literally plays
Yeah,
the
but
scene.
Is it?
It's
neck?
called dramatic finish.
Does it have
Yep,
neck?
and it has Lord Yamcha taking a nap.
But
It's
where's
all you
neck?
need.
Oh my god, so there is a dramatic finish that doesn't happen in the show, but is so funny that because it's in there, I have absolutely no problem with it being in there. If you are playing Yamcha and you get a dramatic finish on Nappa, because remember, Nappa
Yeah.
just blasted Yamcha and he immediately was just dead in a crater.
No, Yamcha threw a Saiyaman at Yamcha and he exploded and was dead in a crater. Didn't even have to throw a punch. Threw a fucking Saiyaman at him.
Oh, a Cyberman.
A Cyberman, yeah. The fucking little green seed plant dudes that he literally grew and then threw at him. Just
Well,
one
at
of
least
them.
we know that your Raditz is still stronger than our
Our
Raditz.
Reddits.
Anyway, if you are Yamcha and you are fighting Nappa and you win as Yamcha, Yamcha blasts Nappa and Nappa is lying in the same position in a crater.
That's amazing.
And I am completely okay with that. That is super funny.
Apparently, there was a bug in the game where if you had like a Goku Piccolo team, and Gohan won, or like Gohan was on the team, but Gohan finishes the fight. There was a bug where a scene would play where he's talking to Piccolo and Goku, but their positions would be swapped by mistake, and he would say "Thanks, Dad" to Piccolo.
So that's where that came
I mean,
from.
Yeah,
He made
Goku
his-
Goku compliments Gohan, but Gohan is looking at Piccolo and says "Thanks, Dad."
You might as well have been his dad.
Yeah, it was a mistake and a bug, but they fixed it. But it was funny that it only happened under that circumstance.
That's still good. It needed to be fixed, but as long as we have some footage of the original, that's great.
Yes,
Thanks, Dad. Or you
Yeah.
can do the Bobby Hill.
the
Thanks,
Bobby Hill. I'm okay, Dad. Ooh, Gohan.
Whoa, go on.
I'm okay, Dad. He's got Bobby Hill face.
Oh, speaking of that, Mike Judge and other person that created King of the Hill with Mike Judge said if they can ever find the time, they want to revive King of the Hill.
Really, I'd be okay with that.
Was this after?
Yeah.
Was this after his other show like failed?
I think it probably was.
Probably
Where he
was
tried
after
to
the
do
other-
King of the Hill, but the opposite,
But the opposite.
and it actually had animal cruelty in it.
Oops.
Oh God.
Like it was really bad. I watched I watched the Mysterious Mr. Enter, and he did a review on it. It's like they're trying to like make fun of liberals because they like everything needs to be organic, even the dog food, and the dog is just dying. It's like I
Oh.
don't want to watch this. Who would want to watch
Oh.
this?
Jeez.
You know what people should watch, however, is BoJack Horseman.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you
BoJack
mean that
Horseman.
shitty show?
Yeah,
That's
that piece
yeah.
of shit show.
That piece of
Bullshit.
shit.
Absolutely watch it.
Yeah. Speaking of, we've already had a kind of discussion on BoJack Horseman in like a podcast.
we did.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh,
Is it bad though? Is it bad though that I honestly at times worry about my life being where I am actually Todd and one of my friends is BoJack?
Well,
And I-
You're just
I
living in
honestly
your
don't-
house.
But no, I honestly worry that I'm pursuing something I love and someone's actually trying to like stop me from being capable of doing it to fulfill their own weird wishes.
They're sabotaging your rock opera.
Yeah, like I really hope that that isn't like it's just paranoia on my end and it's not something that's actively happening. That would be
speaking of,
terrible.
Netflix.
Speaking of Netflix,
You
Yeah.
guys, any of you guys seen the new Black Mirror season?
I don't
No,
know what Black
no.
Mirror is.
I have seen the first season of Black Mirror, and I have seen one episode of season 3 or 4. But that's it. I still want very much to go through season 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
What is Black Mirror?
All that freelance ticket.
Depressing.
Bro.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, no. Basically, it's an anthology series, which basically means every episode is its own universe until season 4, of course. And it's not a message of technology is bad. It's a message of we shouldn't take it to this extreme, or like just think about technology and how it's kind of like the first episode.
It's a really great description.
The first episode.
I love the first episode.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad.
My friend Steve said he could never watch the first episode of that show ever again.
I mean, it's a good
was like-
episode, but I would never watch it again.
I was like, why can't you watch it again? He's like, something had happened. Just is
Because there's pig
Oh my God.
fucking.
I can't ever watch it again. It was so horrible. I was like, I mean, he was like, it's a good episode. It's a good episode. I don't hate the episode. It's just I can't ever watch that again. It's too intense for me. And then I watched the episode and I was like,
That's why.
I've seen porn worse than this.
I've seen porn worse
here's
than
the
this.
thing.
What the fuck are you into, dude? I'm not kink shaming, but what the fuck are you into? If Freelance is talking about there being pig fucking
There's
in this
pig fucking.
episode,
There's super
It's-
pig
what the
fucking.
hell?
There's the most pig fucking.
There's a lot of there's pig fucking. But
well, here's the definitive answer. Freelance, my friend. On a scale of 1 to human centipede, how bad is it?
oh my god.
Okay, now you're just over exaggerating.
So it's not that bad.
In that case, it's a 5 probably.
right,
Because-
yeah.
It goes on for too long for a reason.
Oh.
and it's really
Yeah.
sad. It's the saddest
Now-
pig fucking I've ever seen,
Well,
and it's the
I see, like,
it's the only
Steve
pig
said
fucking
the
I've ever seen.
episode was horrible, but like the first, okay. So I talked to Beth about this too, and I was like, Beth, first episode of Black Mirror is hilarious, and she was like, hilarious?
Black
Are you
Mirror.
sure that's the word you're looking for? I was like, hear me out. The first 25 minutes is rolling on the floor laughing funny. And
No,
And then
because
someone
of how
fucks pigs.
absurd that situation is, and in real life that is probably 95 to 100% of exactly how it would go down.
Well, you do know there was a prime minister that fucked a pig,
I did not know that.
and I think it was a dead pig.
That makes it even more hilarious.
And no, it's funny because you'll find out in one of the episodes. Black Mirror predicted Donald Trump's presidency.
Oh
You
my
mean like the
God.
2012.
Simpsons did?
Yeah, but the Simpsons.
The Simpsons
To
did it
be fair,
first.
No,
they
but-
did do it first, and they do it to basically everything. So we
Black
Yeah,
Mirror,
the Simpsons is really self-aware.
Black Mirror does it to an accurate degree.
oh,
But
Wow.
also it's because it's a show that also because you look at the technology and you look at technology that's similar to it, and it's like we're almost there.
yeah, that I think that's a good point. I do think Freelance hit the nail on the head with that. Black Mirror is a show about technology that we are almost at, and the idea is if we go down the wrong path with that technology, that's an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh.
That's why it's called Black Mirror, because like
Yeah.
if we go down the good path,
No,
then that won't happen.
no, that's not why it's called Black Mirror.
Why is it called Black Mirror?
Because when you turn off your phone, it's a black mirror.
Oh fuck!
Gotcha, bitch.
Well, damn. Got him.
Got
Fucking
him.
got him.
Or it's like your phone runs out of battery, and then all you see is a mirror of yourself, but darker. And
Okay.
like, let's say,
I
okay,
like
listen, Specs. If you ever want to start watching Black Mirror, it's gonna get fucking heavy.
Oh.
You might have to watch 2 episodes a day. That's how I did it, because like it wasn't until the second episode that I'm just like, oh, this is what this show is about.
Right. That second episode, I was watching it like, they don't explain some of the facets, and I like that. Usually, I hate that.
Well, I think
But
I think that one was like
Kind of
of
like
a,
that.
it was kind of the theme was like just sensationalism and media.
Sensationalism. Yep.
And
I
the
agree
first
with
one
you.
was about just like people wanting to see everything on TV,
Yes, the
including a
first
pig
one-
being fucked.
The first one
Hey,
is
some
about.
people might be into that, dude. Don't kink shame.
Yeah, don't you kink
Weren't
shame.
you kink shaming like not too long ago?
I wasn't kink shaming a damn thing. I was simply asking Drew if that's not the weirdest thing he's seen. What is he into?
He isn't kink shaming. He's shame kinking.
Yeah, but let's see. Yeah,
No,
but-
I'm.
And it's not
I'd
about what
call
I'm
it
into.
Curiosity.
It's not about what I'm into. It's about how bored I got one day.
yeah. Let's just say like the first episode of season 3. First episode of season 3 is actually is really good, but it has a really clear message that is almost really close to home. But then you get to the second episode, and it's about video games, and I was just like, okay, we're done for tonight.
We're done.
Oh,
'cause it's a- It's
so, like, what
it's-
technology are they using that is like so like?
it's an anthology series. It's different.
cornerstone.
It's different every episode.
yeah, it's different
Oh.
every episode.
But like, it's so dark that in season 3 they had one episode where people were like, "That was a good ending." What the
Well,
fuck?
give me an example of this technology so I have a better idea, because I'm probably not going to watch this. I can honestly say 90-20. I'm probably
Okay,
not
there's
going to watch
one-
this
okay.
at all.
Episode
I'm going to
3.
explain my favorite episode, which is "Be Right Back."
Oh man, then I have to.
Oh
I
wait, no.
can't-
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. Third
Almost-
episode of the first season.
Yeah, third
um,
episode of the first season.
It's called The Entire History of You, and it's about what if you were able, if everything was recorded through your eyes, and you were able to look back at it and enhance
Right.
it, or like look at someone's like just the smallest facial expression on someone's face.
Every memory is logged on a database that you have access to at any time, and all you need is the date and time of that memory, and you have it in
Honestly,
explicit detail.
It's basically just like invasion of privacy.
essentially.
It's a really good
blurs
episode.
it blurs the lines.
Yeah.
I can see where that really has a thing. In all honesty, from my perspective personally, I'm not trying to make this sound like a joke. First of all, don't take this as me trying to make this show sound like
I mean,
a
the
joke.
show is satire.
I would literally
is.
only use that entire purpose to remember why I walked down the stairs in the first place after the fourth time I've gone up and down the stairs,
I mean-
forgetting why the fuck I walked down the stairs in the first place, standing in the kitchen going, why the fuck did I come down here, to then look back at the first time I went down to remember, oh, right, I put lunch in the microwave. I've come up and down the stairs doing dishes, laundry, and it's sat in the microwave for literally 2.5 hours, and I cannot remember that it's there. I have a low latent inhibition filter on my
I thought you
brain,
were
and
going to
that's why I
say
can
like
remember.
I thought you were going to say I would use it for my YouTube videos.
Nope, I would literally
yeah.
only use it for the sake of remembering why I forgot that I put my lunch in the microwave 2.5 hours ago and why I'm pissed about it being cold now.
Yeah, what this episode does, like, if anyone wants to watch that episode, please just like skip forward. The guy
Yeah.
looks back and he sees like certain emotions, and he's like, "Wow, my wife's cheated on me once, didn't she?" And he near the end, he just forces her to show on the screen like what she did. And hey, believe it or not, she left.
Huh.
Yeah, but that guy, the main character of this episode is the antagonist. He's the one that has this paranoid freak out session that his wife has maybe cheated on him somehow, and so he's scouring his memories. He's looking at the things. He's asking his maid to be like, "Hey, what does this look like? Look, she talks to him, laughs. That joke isn't even funny." Yes, it is, by the way. And then it was like, "Oh, looking at me, I make a joke, no laugh." Looks down at the floor. Look at that. That's it. And like, he's berating her and chastising her for things that aren't her fault, that wasn't.
And then at the very end,
she never did anything guilty.
At the very end, he goes back and he just sees like all these times where she was just like just looking at him like she was in love with him. And
Right, and so like exactly. So he goes to the other
cuts
guy's
it out.
house. He finds the guy. He was like, "Show me your fucking memories. I want you to erase all of those times that you had sex with my wife before we got married and we weren't dating, just erase all of them." He's like, fine. Oh my god, holy shit, I will. And he erases all of those memories. But like, when he opened up his memory data bank, there was a memory of a picture that they have above their bed, and they've only had that picture since her last birthday. So the guy's like, "So tell me, who's the real father of our child? Like, is he my son? Is he my son?"
son.
And then she's like, "Hey, you had sex with this guy because I saw this picture in his memories. Did you use a condom?" I don't know. Did you use a condom? It's just, I did not like that episode, but it was, it really did.
Welcome to Black Mirror, where
illustrate.
you don't like the episodes.
Yeah, I understand the concept of the show a lot more.
But there's one part I do want to like that kind of just shows a very sad part of this technology. It's when it looks like as if they're having sex and it's really passionate, and it turns out to be a memory. They're just having the saddest sex you've ever seen. It just
Yeah,
looks like as if
yeah.
they're like so.
They're just both blindly staring off into
Also,
oblivion because they're both using the
The
memory.
second episode of the first season has Daniel Kaluuya, who does Get Out. He was in Get Out.
Oh, that's why he was familiar. Yeah,
he was like that was the first time I
very
saw
good
him, and he's an amazing actor.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
But yeah,
That's
I will
cool.
say Be Right Back is one of my favorite episodes.
And so it is for Steve too. He's because I asked him which one's your favorite episode, and he said, "Oh yeah, it's Be Right Back."
It gets deep, man. Also, it has two fairly well-known actors, as Domhnall Gleeson and Haley Atwell. Haley Atwell was Agent Carter Peggy Carter. And Domhnall Gleeson was General Hux from the new Star Wars movies.
Ah, yes.
The angry guy.
Definitely no.
The angry guy.
But yeah, season 4 was.
It's unfortunate.
It had, I would say, 2 good episodes.
And it has 6 episodes.
Yes. But I will say, the episode that's like really good is really good.
And you know what? That's what Beth says. Beth says that they're not necessarily. Oh, it's season 1 or season 2, episode 1 is Be Right Back.
Yeah.
But she says the episodes just land, but when they land, they are super good. And Beth actually said, I use one of the episodes of Black Mirror to illustrate certain points in my creative writing class because of how good it is.
Yeah. Which episode?
So I'm pretty excited to watch the rest of Black Mirror.
But yeah, no, there's just expect shit in terms of the 3rd episode of season 4.
Expect shit.
It's my least favorite episode. I hate that episode so much because not just because it's shit, but because people are like, it's a great episode, classic, original Black Mirror.
Oh God.
Okay, guys, I've officially seen the best Overwatch meme of 2018.
Oh, good, please.
It is a No Limits, where a person in the caption piece of the chat, and I'm only gonna say the chat. You can guess what this No Limits is. This town ain't big enough for the 12 of us.
Goddamn, 6v6
6v6 McCrees.
It's high to step.
Hey
step
McCree,
right
what
up, step-
time is it?
That's about 9 foot. Oh, I
got
get
me.
it.
Yeah, let's see.
Maybuffs! I want them so badly.
I know. Here's another really good meme. An old one, but a good one. Next time you're afraid to share ideas, remember someone once said in a meeting, let's make a film with a tornado full of sharks.
Sharknado.
There are no stupid ideas, except for that one, that they did multiple times.
But Sharknado
Oh
is
my
done
God.
well.
Right, yeah, so Sharknado 1 is a horrible movie and I hate it. Sharknado 2 through yes, there are 5
Two,
are
three, yes,
absolutely
there are 5.
incredible.
When a movie revels in its stupidity, it's when you got a good movie. That's why I love Hardcore Henry so
Yes.
much.
Oh, does Hardcore Henry do that too?
It's the dumbest story ever, and it knows it. It's like,
Dumbest story ever.
it's the
Oh
most-
wait, he goes to go kill the mobsters because they killed his dog, right?
That's John Wick. That's actually a really good story.
Oh, that's
That's John Wick, something totally different.
No,
Sorry,
no, Hardcore
I
Henry
got-
is they stole my wife. I need to save my wife from this evil albino guy
This evil albino
with
guy.
telekinesis.
Specifically albino.
I,
Who looks like Jesus?
like I would no telekinesis.
Oh,
I
with
would-
telekinesis.
Like I can just spoil Hardcore Henry because the story doesn't matter. It's just a fun movie. There's
yeah, it
literally
really
a movie.
doesn't.
There's literally a part where a guy gets shot with a sniper rifle, and the sniper rifle guy's like, "Good move, Charlie Bronson."
What?
So my buddy shared a post from Tech
That's
Nine,
weird.
the rapper. It's a
Yes.
picture of him from the back, so you can see the back of his head. And Tech Nine's got all the tattoos and everything on his face. So it's captioned, "What in the fuck was going on with my head, y'all? Not only did y'all let me walk around with a dated ass ducktail, but you let me go on stage with it in front of thousands, with 9s carved into my head as well. Why? Howard the Duck do looking ass? Lol, drugs are bad, Mr. Mackey voice."
Anyway, do we want to talk about Dark Souls Remastered?
It's a thing and it's happening and I love it.
I love
We've
it.
talked about it.
Dark Souls remastered.
Yeah,
I've honestly have not played any of the Dark
Okay,
Souls
yeah,
games
story
yet,
time.
so I'm excited for it to be a
Little
thing.
story
Me
time.
neither.
Little story time. I got. Recently I played Dark Souls 3, and I beat it with my friend, and I was like,
Awesome.
and afterwards we just had a discussion about it, and I was just like, You know what would be really cool? You know, if they remastered Dark Souls 1.
And then it was a
The
thing.
very next day. The thing is, like, Dark Souls, like I said, it was only recently that I played Dark Souls 3 and beat it. Like, January recent.
Oh wow.
Oh.
And
You played on it for a little while.
the game had been out for 2 years already.
Let's be
And-
fair. They're remastering the first game, and I haven't played any of them. I
Yeah.
own the first
Yeah, I
one for
haven't either.
Xbox, even.
X-Back.
I own them and
The
haven't played either.
Xbox.
Dark Souls.
Dr. Bob even bought me a controller and sent it to me from Canada. Well, he sent it to me to my address from wherever he bought it, so I guess it's not from Canada. But to hook it up and play it, and I still haven't gotten around to doing that.
Dark Souls 1 is great. It's just, you know, hard.
Right.
Like, fuck you, it's Dark Souls kind of thing.
Like, fuck you, this is hard. Expect it to be hard, be mad.
Let's see. Did we want to talk about the monetization policy? Because that was it's a bit old. We
old.
can't just talk about Logan Paul and how dumb
It's,
he is.
I mean, that's a given for any day of the week.
We
He's an
can't
idiot.
just talk about Logan Paul and how dumb he is.
Because recently he tried to make a comeback and then fucked it up again.
Yeah,
he
that was
fucked it up. He
super
didn't just
funny.
fuck it up. He fucked it up royally.
He tased it.
Oh my god! How he got another chance from one of the worst YouTube scandals ever,
Yes.
and
And
just
still found a way to fuck it up.
and fucked it up again.
Oh man, they're giving me a second chance. I really hope I don't screw this up. Damn it!
It's like and then it does the cartoon. Just the scene flips over. No, damn it!
Yep.
Don't even know what he did. He just screams. Damn
But
it.
we can touch on the monetization thing, and I can say it as someone who isn't even small YouTube. I'm tiny fucking YouTube.
Tiny,
I'm
tiny
microscopic YouTube. And I'm not worried about this
He's
change.
a little pussy bitch.
What is
And
the
I'm not-
change?
The change is that they've adjusted the partnership requirements. It's not just 10,000
Oh,
views anymore.
Right.
To
yeah,
maintain it, you have to have at least 4,000 hours of viewed time per
a
month.
few time.
So yeah,
right.
fuck you,
oh,
animators.
per month.
It's
Yeah,
fuck you animators.
I guess.
But at the same time, animators have the unique feature of Patreon, where most of their revenue now is generated.
Which
And
is good.
every animator will tell you that. Any animator complaining about their YouTube revenue getting pulled,
Is a little
the only
pussy
people
bitch.
who can justify being upset about it would be someone like Element Animation, who's been doing it for years, but at the same time has a massive Patreon following, making him more than YouTube has ever made him.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. We were going on Black Mirror so much. I forgot to say there's more to the Netflix thing I was gonna talk about.
Oh,
Oh.
we'll go back. Okay.
Right.
We can backtrack if you want.
Bright. Big
I don't know what that
Mouth,
is.
Oh,
and
Bright.
And the
Oh my
Cloverfield
God, Big Mouth.
Paradox.
Oh,
Is
God
Cloverfield
damn
gonna
it.
be as bad as the movies? Because I feel like it's
Yes.
gonna be as
Yes,
bad as
it
the
is.
movies. Because
No,
it
you're
looked at
right.
from the trailer as bad as the
Dude,
movies.
10 Cloverfield Lane is really good.
I disagree, but
Okay,
I respect your
gonna-
opinion.
Have
let's
you have you seen it?
let's talk about those things in order. You said Bright first,
Yeah,
so
Yes.
let's talk about how awesome Bright was.
What?
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 You didn't like Bright?
Damn, son, I hope that's sarcasm.
What?
I think I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break while you guys duke this one out, because I gotta pee and I don't know what the hell Bright even is. I know Bright is what happens when I crank my ring lights all the way to max. I'll be right back.
Okay, so you don't like Bright.
Yeah, because it tries to be deep. It's stupid. Like, oh, the orcs are like black people. And
Well,
yeah, it's a world where Shrek still exists. It's a world where Bloods and Crips still exists.
Well, Bloods and Crips do still exist.
No, it isn't. Why would it exist in this world where there's fantasy monsters? Why does the Alamo exist?
That is really funny. Okay, look, the reason why I liked Bright.
Like, if you liked it for some of the good action scenes or maybe some of the comedy, fine. But don't tell me that it's a good movie, because it's not.
I liked Bright because of the world it built.
what world
I-
did it build? Because orcs are bad and people don't like orcs. Because
Well,
you know what would have been better? Because I'm pretty sure, remember somewhere in the movie they did talk about like how the Dark Lord was taken down. That would have been a
Right.
better movie.
yes, I agree.
And they decided to put it in the modern world, and they did like you. I'm pretty sure you could just like you can replace everyone with real people. Like let's replace the orcs with the actual black people they're meant to represent, and I'm pretty sure it would be no different, except for the wand.
Well, I mean, not just except for the one, because there would be, because you have the elves and the hierarchy of the elves. What are they, just white
But
people?
why would Shrek still exist? Why would Shrek exist?
But
Why would Bloods exist?
the movie
What?
is of itself, it's not good. I liked it, and I like the world that
That's
they
all I
have.
wanted. Has
I
Beth,
like
has
the
Beth
world
said
that they
anything about
have.
it?
Has Beth said anything about it? Oh, she probably also hated it. If she's
Okay,
seen
say
it,
all
she
that
would
again.
hate
I
it.
wasn't listening.
The world building sucks.
I just like the idea
Then you know what you
of
would like?
modern day
Do you know what you would
fantasy.
like to play? Shadowrun.
Yeah, Shadowruns.
Shadowrun's really good.
I thought we were talking about Bright.
And
By we, I mean you guys.
I mean, I'm talking about like basically what Bright got its idea from.
Oh,
Though
It's basically like
I-
if fantasy things were in the modern world, that's it. And orcs are basically just black people. Am I joking?
Oh.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
no, you're not wrong. They're like, but they're like worse than black people. Black people.
Because the main character.
what are you trying to say about black people?
Yeah,
Oh
what are you
no,
saying?
I'm not saying
Wow,
anything about
Drew.
black people. I'm
bet-
saying of things about racist.
I bet you'd give that blah,
racists.
blah, blah, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it handles racism really poorly.
No,
Um,
that's a shame because it can be handled correctly, but it's not.
honestly, like people are talking about like Black Panthers, like if it's a milestone. 12 Years a Slave is an amazing movie, and Blade is an amazing movie too.
Yeah, you're right. Blade is an amazing movie, but like, okay, I want to see a series based on the world Bright, because I would like to
okay,
see.
I think I'll say if it was Max Landis, still like even directing it, maybe it would have been a better movie, because apparently what he had for a script was good enough. Like the elf girl that follows him around
Yeah,
was actually going to be a child.
that would make more sense. Yes.
Yes. And maybe if Will Smith didn't, ad-lib sometimes, fairy lives don't matter today.
Right.
I'm just saying, like,
It was a
keep-
cheesy mess.
keep that director who, like, rewrote the script
I still
away
like-
from movies. Because if you
Yeah.
want to know who the director is, it's the same guy who did Suicide Squad.
Oh,
Oh.
great.
I mean, Suicide Squad had great special effects, a great general
It
concept.
has award-winning hairstyle and makeup.
Yeah.
It does not win a goddamn thing on story.
Okay,
It even
so
had a
let's-
great villain, but it had terrible story.
Right. Let's move on to Big Mouth.
Okay, here's the thing. When it comes to all the things we're about to talk about on Netflix, I've only seen people talk about it, and what I've seen is shit.
Wait, what? What are you in reference to? What?
I've seen a lot of clips of Big Mouth, and I just don't like it.
I've
Okay.
never heard of it, but I also don't have Netflix.
Think
so
of
I'm
it's basically
kinda
just
useless
it's
here.
an adult cartoon that has a lot to do with puberty. A lot
Okay.
to do with puberty.
So, I have seen all of Big Mouth. Okay, so one day, I had 1 hour before I should go to bed, and to be a responsible adult. So I was like, okay, I'll watch the first episode of Big Mouth. I went to bed 5 hours later after I finished Big Mouth. Okay, so the series is animated and styled kind of like The Critic from Comedy Central.
Okay.
And the story follows two guys and their female friend and their Hispanic friend. Two white guys, one of which is Jewish, their female friend, and their Hispanic friend.
Jewish the
And-
race or Jewish the religion?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with both of those because I think they are actually both.
Oh, okay.
So
I know that sounds weird, but I still find it kind of funny that that's a life.
right?
I think the race would be more like Israeli.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna
the
say, I
race
think
is
white
actually
people-
Jewish.
White people from Israel are Jewish racially. Like what? I
Yeah.
don't know how that works, but
White people specifically from Israel are Jewish the race. I don't understand how that works, and I think we should reteach those people how science works.
Jewish.
A religion can't be a race. It's not how it works.
But the first episode is about the Jewish kid going through puberty and his friend not going through puberty, and it gets
Weird.
really vulgar. And I'm talking like vulgar to the point that I didn't expect an animation to get to. So vulgar that if it were live action, they probably wouldn't actually air it on
They'd
Netflix.
probably get
Um,
arrested.
Right, yeah,
It probably
yes.
wouldn't even get aired on Pornhub from the
Well,
direction you're talking about this.
They'd get arrested because, yeah, child.
Listen, Pornhub has
stuff, but-
standards.
Yeah, they got the B movie.
So Big Mouth focuses on puberty and being attracted to who you are attracted to, and it has absurd characters. Now there's a guy that I didn't know I was actually sexually in love with
What?
besides Freelance, which is weird, I know.
Fucking what?
I'm allowed to be attracted to other men. I'm just not going to act
No.
on it. Anyway, Nick Kroll is like who I secretly masturbate
I was
to. every
hoping it
night.
was John Mulaney.
I love Nick Kroll's voice. It's like being massaged with sandpaper.
What?
It feels good and bad at the same time. Nick Kroll's voice is an experience,
Yeah, but
and
okay, so the thing about his character is that he's underdeveloped, right?
yeah, Nick.
So why
Nick
does he have the
Kroll's-
voice of a male, of an adult male?
Right, Nick Kroll's character is underdeveloped, and then he also voices the puberty monster. So okay, Specs, there are these two characters. They're called the puberty monsters. One's name is Jerome. The other's name was Shaira or Sheila, Shariah something. The one that follows the Jewish kid around is the male puberty monster, and this puberty monster is obsessed with violence, sex, and sex.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
Yeah, no, dude, the show is absolutely hilarious. I wouldn't say it's amazing. I think it's slightly well done. But it absolutely, when it goes for comedy, it hits comedy. It is undeniably funny. Whether or not it's well made can certainly be argued, but it is undeniably hilarious. And I loved it. The non-puberty kid, the Jewish kid's friend, is his dad is my favorite character in the show because their families are also characters in the show. So the main character has an older sister, and that's how he experiences his first alcohol. There's the ghost of some black jazz singer who was super famous that lives in their attic
For some
that
reason,
they go to for advice, and he's very funny because he has he has those old time stereotypes about people that are alive, and he is a ghost, obviously. So there's an episode about the Jewish kid thinking he's gay.
Isn't there an episode where one of the characters impregnates a pillow?
Yeah, there's the episode where the Hispanic guy impregnates his pillow.
What?
Yes. Also,
And then-
also the girl like talks to her vagina at some point.
Yes,
What?
well, the girl has a puberty monster as well.
Yeah, I
And-
gathered that.
And she's like, start throwing like her mom comes in and says, hey honey, is everything okay? And the puberty monster goes, start throwing shit and call your mother by her name. And she starts throwing things just like, what do you think, Sheila? Starts crying. It is so funny because the timing is perfect, and the reality, the fact, I think what makes the show so good is that you can, regardless of who you are at all, if you are human, you can relate to the show in some capacity.
Wow, being very exclusive of robots.
Yeah, what the fuck's Zenyatta
Fuck,
supposed
man.
to do?
What aliens?
How does Bastion relate to this? We don't even know if Bastion's a girl robot.
Is Bastion a girl robot? So yeah, that show, I love Big Mouth. It looks absolutely like a waste of time.
It has a horrible art style.
It it looks like a try-hard waste of time that you should never sit down and try.
It's a reason why you should never give cartoon characters lips.
Oh, yes, absolutely yes. But I like the art style because it is horrendous. It's like Duckman, Private Eye. No,
That one line from Freelance will turn me off of the show entirely.
What, the
that's why
lips?
you shouldn't give
Yeah.
animated characters lips.
Yes, no, I don't know.
Like, the only place it doesn't look weird is Ruby, and that's 3D, so that doesn't count.
Yeah. Duckman, Private Dick / Family Man. That is what the animation style is reminiscent for me.
Let's see. What was... Oh, wait, did we ever talk about Death Note?
Do we need to?
haven't.
The Netflix movie Death Note?
Do we need to?
Do we?
I feel like everything anyone needs to know is implied by the fact that a Death Note Netflix movie was made. It's like asking, do we need to talk about the Dragon Ball Z live action movie? No.
Well, I mean, that was like 2004, dude. We're talking about
This is-
we're talking about like this movie came out in 2017.
Yeah. Did anyone watch it?
Yes.
I did.
Oh, Drew did.
No, I
What'd you-
didn't bother.
What do you think, Drew?
Unpopular
Okay,
opinion.
moving on.
I actually kind of liked it. It's not heinous.
Keep in mind there are no technical difficulties. We are actually silent.
I mean, it. Okay, so Death Note the anime, episode 1 through 25, really good. I wouldn't say fantastic, but they were really good. Episode 26 through 37, just unwatchable. It was basically leftovers of what the original show was, and we didn't need to see it. It was terrible. I hated episode 26 through 37. It should just ended at 25 and then be like, yeah, okay, Death Note was really great. But because of those extra episodes, I cannot like that anime. So I watched this movie, and I was able to do with it something I wasn't able to do with Zelda Wind Waker. I was able to separate the movie from the anime. And when I did that, the movie was like a cut-rate Spider-Man movie.
The Wind Waker anime? Fucking...
No. the Death Note anime.
No, like, what's that do with Wind Waker? Fucking...
Oh, well, I don't like Zelda Wind Waker. It was not a fun game.
Keep in mind, there's no technical difficulties. We're actually just being All right.
And the reason why I didn't like it was because it wasn't a Zelda game.
Kind of was, actually.
It kind of was.
Yeah, but
it
only
had a
kind
lot
of.
to do with. No, it absolutely was a Zelda game. Zelda was there. Daphneus Hyrule was there for like the
You-
entire game.
Link, so you can
You
pick up,
weren't
pick up
Link.
pigs.
You literally become Link, and you learn how the Triforce Courage actually works.
You become Link.
Yeah, because he's reborn every single time, and he's not always reborn with the
Chosen one.
Triforce. Especially with how Ocarina of Time ends, you understand why he doesn't have the Triforce.
Chosen one. I'm coming.
Yeah, you give the Triforce to Zelda at the end of Ocarina of Time. She seals Ganon away. You go back in time. Link was separated from the Triforce. You become the hero of wins in quotation marks in that game, but you become the hero of courage by the time you reforge the Triforce.
Wind Waker was different in many ways, especially art
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, I liked the art style for it,
I like the
honestly.
art style too. So yeah, fuck you, Drew. We're not.
I wouldn't go that far, freelance, but I mean,
No, I mean I'm
I
going to
don't-
fuck you, Drew.
oh, okay, that's
okay.
what you meant.
Okay, that's okay. That's good. See, I hated the art style, but now I like it. Is that weird?
No,
Because like I hated it, like to the point of it detracted from my enjoyment of the game. And now, if they released a Wind Waker 2, I'd probably play it.
they remastered the game. That was
Well,
a
it-
thing.
It's too bad it's not on the Switch.
It's
No,
a shame
it's-
that it's Boat Simulator.
It's not that much
But-
of a boat simulator.
Nah, it really
the-
isn't.
If it was a boat simulator,
there's-
there'd
there's
be
a
realistic
lot.
crashing and
There's a
Yeah.
lot of sailing.
There'd be a lot of crashing at dubstep if it was Boat Simulator.
I just do not like the game. I
Yeah,
played it
anyway.
through halfway, about 13, 14 hours into the
What
game.
part
and,
did you stop at?
After the part where it was revealed that you were like Link 1,000 years in the future, and that the pirate character was actually Zelda's
So like
descendant.
right after the Tower of the Gods.
Yes, right after the Tower of the Gods.
Okay, there's a lot more that happens there.
I will say Wind Waker was my first time experiencing a console exclusive. Because when I was younger, I only had a PS2. I never had a GameCube.
Ah,
But I went
see.
over to
Right.
my cousin's place and I played Wind Waker. I'm like, this game is so fun. I love it. And me being my dumb little shit kid self was like, Dad, I want to get Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for my PS2.
Doesn't exist.
Guess what didn't come on my birthday?
Yeah.
But it did allow me to experience Dark Cloud 2. Which is a really good PS2 game.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Legend
I-
of Zelda Wind
but-
Waker for my PS2.
If I was able
I was
to
a
separate...
dumb little shit kid, like 6 to 8 years old.
No, we've all made that mistake at least once. I had to end up saving up money and going out and buying an Xbox because a Halo only existed on the Xbox and you couldn't buy it for the GameCube.
So that was your first experience with console exclusive?
Yeah,
How about you? Drew?
yeah.
I guess
Still have that Xbox actually.
Well, I actually, the problem I had was that I couldn't get Final Fantasy III for my Sega. That's how old I am. Shut up.
I was going to make a joke about how old you are, but you already made it.
You beat us to it. I couldn't get Final Fantasy III for my Sega. Why did you not own a fucking Nintendo console, you pleb? Were you like?
owned
what was
an
wrong with
original
you?
Nintendo,
I
but
mean,
instead of
okay.
buying a Super Nintendo, my parents bought me a Sega.
I mean, okay, in your defense,
Your
in
parents made a
defense-
mistake.
In your defense, Drew, I did. My first ever console was a Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis. All
Uh,
right.
I own a
my,
Sega
my
Genesis.
first ever game was Sonic 2 and Echo.
Yes.
So-
Sonic
so wait,
Hill,
wait,
Green
Echo
Hill
the
Zone
goddamn
forever.
dolphin.
I have to ask then, Freelance, my friend, did you own the towering pillar of bullshit? All of the random shit that they kept making for the Genesis that stacked onto
no,
it to
my-
try and
my
make
dad-
it compete with the
Oh,
64.
My dad only got a Sega Genesis for a hockey game, I think, or a football
Oh.
game, or both. The hockey football game, you know. But
So you
I
didn't
guess
have
he,
all the
I guess he also got
expansion
Sonic
pieces.
2. He also got Sonic 2 and Echo the Dolphin, which I could never get past the first level of. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could.
yeah, it's surprising how much of a connection that is for some people. Like nobody.
Echo the
gets-
Dolphin was the first Dark
Do
Souls.
you know what happens at the end of Echo the fucking Dolphin?
Nobody
No.
does.
Aliens come. I'm not joking.
Why are you serious?
So it's like Contra, where at the end of the game it's actually aliens.
It's
I don't want to say it's aliens.
but it's
It's aliens.
aliens.
I'm gonna look up the plot right now. Echo,
Oh my god, please do.
Okay, see, let's see.
I need this in my life.
Because I
Okay,
also
first-
never made
Okay,
it
first
past.
of all, it includes traveling back in time as well.
What?
I also
And
have never
Finding
been able to beat
Atlantis.
Echo the Dolphin.
Let's see. Okay, I just read a weird sentence. After receiving the globe, the asteroid grants him the power to turn his sonar into a deadly weapon against the vortex.
What?
Where is this game gone?
Wait. Did Hideo Kojima develop this game?
Once inside the
had
water
to.
spout, Echo makes his way towards the Vortex Queen, the leader of the Vortex race. Echo destroys the Vortex Queen, and his father turns off.
What the fuck? You're
Fuck.
fucking with us. You have to be fucking
Yeah.
with us.
You're reading fanfic. You
Look it up.
have to
This
be.
is fanfiction.
Look it up. Look it up. I'm not. I'll get, like. I will cut off my. I'll cut off my foot. Because it is right in front of my eyeballs. My eyeballs are absorbing the information. And it.
Are you sure you don't have like lenses on? You
And
don't.
Echo.
There's like some kind of debris on them.
And Echo wrecks the Vortex Queen.
Oh my god. Why don't? Okay, we're talking about remastering games. Why don't we got Echo
Why
the
don't we?
Dolphin?
Why not remaster Echo the Dolphin?
Because game
Fucking
developers
sonar into
everywhere
the queen.
understand that the world does not need this. The world doesn't. The world thinks it wants that. It doesn't
Oh my God,
understand that
was
it
such,
doesn't.
It's such a great experience having to tell people that aliens happen at the end of Echo the fucking Dolphin. Because it was surprising for me too when I first learned it.
People
like,
who have
wait,
actually
it
physically
shocked
seen it
me
have
too.
either hacked the game or used a Game Genie to get to
It's
it.
on the plot of the Wikipedia page.
That's crazy. And no one's see the reason why nobody talks about it is because no one's ever been able to get there. They've never been able to beat it.
Fucking aliens, man.
The vortex.
Oh
Queen.
god. Yeah, and then Sonic 2, and then I moved on to PS1. But anyway, Death Note, right?
Death Note wasn't horrible.
I'm sure it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't
It
decent.
no, it wasn't. Absolutely not. It was like I said, it amounted to a cut rate Spider-Man.
I'm guessing the
movie.
best part of it was Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm gonna put it this way.
It
I've
is.
never
The best
watched
part
it.
is-
I've never watched it, but I had someone explain to me that the Super Mario Brothers live action movie was better than Death Note's live action movie.
That is a very good comparison, actually. I
know-
like.
to be
I
fair, I
can't
have
say
a
anything
bias.
else. I like that. I like that
Yeah,
comparison.
I have a bias. I like the Super Mario Brothers movie and own it on DVD, no less. I also like
we're on
Batman and Robin and
DVD.
Mr. Freeze because it's all Blockbuster had when I bought it when Blockbuster went out of business. But I also really like Batman and Robin and
Blockbuster?
Mr. Freeze.
What?
Right? Oh my
Blockbuster?
God. I didn't realize there's people too young to remember that.
That's
No,
right,
I'm
you-
joking.
you-
Specs
you
were
turned
probably
20
Specs,
though, right?
Specs, we're the same age, probably.
Oh yeah, I'm 24
Very-
going on
you're
25
close.
next month.
Oh wow, I can't believe it. You look so young, dude.
You
It's
really
because
do
I
look very young.
shave, which a lot of people my age don't do.
I wonder how young
He
Drew would
does look
if he
very young.
shaved.
He wouldn't. He's just perpetually old.
He's not
What?
wrong. You're always going. Never mind. Anyway, do we want to talk about the Cloverfield paradox? Do we want to just talk
No.
about Cloverfield?
Okay, the
No.
Cloverfield Paradox is a shitty movie.
Done. Move on to next topic.
Okay.
I watched it and hated it.
Altered Carbon is a Netflix movie. Not movie. It's a show I watched on Netflix. It's cyberpunk, but the weirdest form of cyberpunk. Like it's got a strange concept that I don't think I can really explain well enough. Like because it's about like uploading your brain into this little disc that you put into bodies, and you're able to like just become that body. And people like experience like, oh, I used to be a 6-year-old girl, now I'm in a 51-year-old body.
What?
But it gets weirder, and the first 2 episodes are.
How do you get weirder than that? How do you go weirder? How do you go
Echo
weirder
the-
without becoming illegal?
Echo the Dolphin.
You're not fucking wrong.
But like for 2.5 episodes, it's kind of not great. But me and my dad kept like going for it, and it finally got really good.
Oh,
actually
so a
gets-
swing and a hit.
I mean, like, yeah, the reason I only kept watching it was because I liked cyberpunk aesthetics.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
And I like Joel Kinnaman, who was the main character. If you guys don't know who Joel Kinnaman is, he was the sergeant dude from Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh,
before that,
yep.
he was in a show called The Killing, and he was really good in that.
Guys, I just
Okay.
realized something.
Excellent.
What?
What if Hideo Kojima pulls his inspiration from Echo the Dolphin?
What if Hideo Kojima is God?
Then
I
we're
think-
all fucked, and anyone who believes in an afterlife better stop right now.
2017 will start to make a lot more sense.
Hideo
It,
Kojima
honestly,
made
it would.
games.
You're not wrong.
Because it'd be filled with
2017.
weird shit and good games.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. So
let's see,
something called an Oladipo is trending on my Twitter right now.
the fuck is that?
A Latipo
A lad.
switching to Twitter.
Apparently, he is.
Only. Oh, it's just a what the
basketball player?
The Victor. What the? What?
Victor Oladipo is apparently an NBA player.
I only got Devin Booker.
Oh, cause he put on the Black Panther mask and fucked up a dunk.
Oh,
And
Nice
Chadwick
job.
Boseman was right there. Chadwick Boseman was right there, and he was clapping for some fucking reason.
okay. Well, we'll brush over that one then.
Okay. Let's see. There was a whole like gamers are good hashtag.
Oh yeah, and a real big like that. There's a lot of discourse about that.
It's I kind of just saw the start of it because Mark Kern was trying to make a case like, yeah, we were bullied because we were identified as gamers, and he's not wrong.
No,
He is
we
wrong,
all
no.
absolutely were.
And
Like,
but then
we were.
people were like, oh, it's just whining. We should just start bullying them again. I'm paraphrasing. And
No, you're fine.
And we started the
It's
whole
pretty much what it was.
Yeah, and they started the whole hashtag gamers are good, and I contributed to it because yeah, like my recent experience with Monster Hunter has been a very welcoming and like just friendly experience.
Yeah, I agree with what they were doing too, because for people to go back and after we were basically treated like shit, and I'm lucky enough that I turned my entire school around where I graduated the coolest kid in my class, and I got the award that they created for me of biggest gamer.
Hey,
At my senior
alright.
dinner. I still have it. They made an award that didn't exist as an award presentation for our senior class because everyone liked me that much.
Oh, nice.
Well,
They
good.
made an award and presented it to me in front of everybody. It was great.
That's
That
sad.
is
I
great.
never got a
That's-
biggest
that's
shit lord award.
Biggest shit lord, biggest meme lord. Well, when I was still in high school, memes weren't a thing yet. We didn't call them memes. They didn't become memes until after I graduated.
Oh no, I was just a shit lord.
You were just a shitlord.
But
Oh
yeah,
no, I'm just a shit.
but yeah, like there.
No, for people who had been bullied by gaming, for being a gamer, to then go into gaming and be bullies, why would you do that? What's wrong with you?
Right.
Yeah, it was just like, I remember one time I was like, I think I was like 12 or 13. I was that kid on Call of Duty. I wasn't the screaming one.
Dude, I just fucked your mom.
I never did that either. I was actually
That wasn't you?
I was a fairly mature 12-year-old.
Oh, you weren't banging everybody's mother?
Sadly not.
So you could have been getting that mom pussy,
I
though.
know, man. Like I've been getting that sweet. No, but like I just remember like I was playing with him as I had my mic on, and like me and this guy we just hung out. This guy was like older than me, but like he was really friendly, and like I think it was just because he was drunk, but it was a fun experience. You know, just like I also remember like playing Mountain Blade Warband, where in Napoleonic Wars you can play as like a fifer and a drummer.
Uh-huh.
And I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna walk into the middle of the battlefield and just start playing my fifer. And people from both sides just joined me and just started dancing around. Like, games have only provided good experiences for me, except for like certain games. Anyway,
Except for Echo the Dolphin.
right to hell. Right to hell. But yeah, like. Gamers are so like, because of the bullying, we've become very accepting of anyone who wants to become one.
Yeah.
And
Because
like,
fuck assholes.
people tried to make the case
They're
like,
assholes.
oh, it's like sexist or racist, and like that case might have been able to be made a while ago, but last year had some amazing female protagonists like Aloy and
Not to mention, not to forget my favorite meme. Oh, everyone out here making all the female characters skimpy as shit. Nintendo be like, shirtless men everywhere. King Dedede, Mario, like everywhere, shirtless men. Big, buff, bulky, shirtless men everywhere.
And when it comes
Not
to
even
like,
always bulky.
the thing is like when it comes to like characters like Bayonetta, let's say.
She's designed to be skimpy. What the fuck? That's her character.
Yeah, it's because of the world. The world is very conservative, and so she's trying to just like kind of, her sexuality is part of like her rebelling against society.
Yeah, and that's just her. That's what she is.
And I mean, come on, she's awesome. So her hair is a fucking monster. She can eat people with her hair.
Literally a monster. It's great.
It's literally a monster. I only got it recently. I started playing it. It's really good.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So good.
Yeah, but last year had some like Hellblade has an amazing like main character is female, and she's realistic because she's not like, oh, this super strong woman. She has huge weak points, and she's like experiencing all this like her mental illness, and it's realistic and it's good. So, and I mean, in terms of racism, Prototype 2 happened.
Yeah, it definitely happened.
Yeah, I kind of get stumped on that. I mean, well, no, actually, The Lost Legacy, Uncharted.
I don't know anything about that one either.
It has two women as the main characters. One's like, I think she's like of Eastern descent, and the other one is black and Australian.
Oh.
More female characters, hey.
Oh, look at that. And racially diverse, even.
I mean, you know, we had NBA 2K17. That
Yeah,
has black
dude.
people in it.
Yeah, it's full of diversity. It has plenty of basketball Americans.
Let's all agree that 2017 was lit when it came to memes, and 2018 started off strong.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Like, I do, we did, you know, I do have a list of the memes. We got Ugandan Knuckles, who's
Yeah, I mean, we all found the way on New Year's taught us the way.
My favorite meme of 2018 is Ugandan Knuckles because
it is. It's absolutely amazing.
It's so dumb. People
so it's all it needs to be.
People are like,
dumb,
oh, it's so racist. We're like, no, it's just the dumbest shit in the world.
It's supposed to be dumb. It's not supposed to be racist.
I
It's
can't
supposed to be
help
dumb.
but
It's
crack up
racist if you
whenever
take it as racist.
I can't help but crack up when I see a bunch of little like fucking disfigured
Stupid
knuckles go
disfigured
clicking.
Knuckles.
Oh my god, it's so
Clicking,
funny.
saying you do not know the way.
It's so dumb and so
If
racist,
anything,
but it's so
Uganda
funny.
Knuckles has made more people aware of what's going on in Africa. I'd say it's done the opposite of racism.
And it's actually helped like the filmmaker that the meme came from.
Yeah. Pursue exactly what he made the film to do.
Yeah, it's just
Like, it's actually like that Uganda Knuckles meme quoting that movie has spawned more interest in donating time and resources and money to helping Africa.
like seriously, it's kind of like Earth Chan. You guys remember
Yeah.
Earth Chan? Like
Yeah,
that,
Earth Chan
that
is
is the
awesome.
that is the
Yeah,
only
it's still
way
a
this
thing.
world will be saved.
Yeah. How do we save climate change and get people on
Let's
board?
make Earth
Make it
an
a
anime.
We
meme.
get the weebs on board with it, and then that's how we get the animus excited for climate change. We're all good, and they succeeded in that. But honestly, there are people out there who will claim the Ugandan Knuckles meme is racist, and it's all. And I honestly would argue the opposite.
Like you could say like being like making fun of Russian accents is offensive as well.
And then at that point, it's where do we draw the line of what's comedy and what's funny, and then where we're walking on eggshells at that point.
Like as long as you're not like as long as the meme isn't like they're dumb, then like it's
As long as it's not being done to be specifically derogatory, and the only intent is to be laughing at expense of somebody,
it's literally just
it's
meant to be
fine.
stupid.
it's just meant to be dumb.
And then we got touch on my spaghetti.
Who touched my spaghetti?
Wait, there's a difference, though. Like, I want to really
Yeah.
quickly add in that there's a difference between Ugandan Knuckles and clicking and saying, "Do you know the way?" That's and we spit on the one who do
My
not know the
queen.
way.
I'm finding my queen.
All of that is okay. Like, it's not okay, but it's just a joke. It's funny. It's not hurting anybody. The thing that sucks the most is they were saying you got the Ebola. Ebola has claimed more lives than most any other actual virus.
I mean, there's the
It's
Black
a
Plague.
very bad disease, and it's a very real problem in Africa. And that's that's like saying things are cancer. You probably shouldn't call things cancer because people by the millions die of cancer every year. It is not cancer, it's just something you don't like. I mean, I would say that you shouldn't say things about Ebola.
Honestly, I'm a bad person to have input on your argument there because I'm the kind of person that cracks jokes at funerals and uses the cancer joke, and I've lost 3 family members to the actual fatal disorder because it's not a disease; it's a malfunction of the cellular structure of the human body. So I don't
Right.
consider it a disease. But I've lost
Well-
family members to it and still make that joke. So either I'm a terrible person, or I just look at it as humor for the sake of.
I mean,
That's how I'd rather look at it,
let's
is
be
in a
honest,
funny
we're
light
all
than something
shitlords.
Well, and it's okay. It's all right. But that's not what matters. What you think is important.
You know what
But
else?
if someone says, I have stage 3 cancer and will die in the next 3 years, please don't use that term.
then yeah, I would stop.
Yeah,
then,
I'd stop
yeah,
around them.
You'd be like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know, But I think if we change our language, which is something that's very easy to do, if you change the language that you use, you can avoid situations like that in the first place. There are other things you can say.
I feel like it's better to address it if it happens and accommodate the person specifically. I personally refuse to walk on eggshells for the sake of other people, potentially. If it comes up and I've offended you, let me know, and I won't do it near you again.
What eggshells are you talking about?
If I have to watch, I don't like the concept of watching everything I say at the sake of I might hurt someone's feelings. If I do it, I will apologize because I don't intend on it at all, and I never have malicious intent.
Right, of course, and that's completely fine.
And
like,
if I have offended you, I won't say what offended you around you at all
Around you.
because it hurts your feelings.
and that's good. And that is the correct way to carry it. That is the correct way to do it.
My thing
But
is,
I think an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I just don't say the potentially offensive thing and just use some other of the millions of words available
But
to
no,
me in
that's
the
the thing.
English
That's the
language.
thing, Drew. Anything is potentially offensive. Saying mankind
exactly,
can be potentially offensive.
and that's the problem I have with it, is if it offends you, I won't do it around you again. But if you're going to be offended by stuff I do outside of anywhere near your realm of presence, I now have a problem with you about that. Because that, if I'm not doing anything hurtful to you specifically, and I mean, if I'm talking shit about you at a distance and you find out I'm talking shit about you, that makes me a shitty person in the first place. I don't talk shit about people behind their back. That's not what I do. But if you're going to be upset about what I say outside of your presence and I don't bring shit up to people who don't like things I talk about, I won't bring it up with you because I know you don't like it.
Right.
Just like how I won't
That's
talk
good.
politics and religion with certain people because I know they don't like it, so I won't talk it.
So,
But if they're upset about me talking it with other people, all I can say is, what's wrong with you at that point?
well, I'm just it's fine. Like I said, the way your belief structure on that it clicks with mine. That's fine. I feel, to me personally, it is easier for me to stop saying things like "that's retarded" and instead say "that's stupid." Stupid works just as well, describes exactly what I want to say. I can even say that's dumb, but I try not to. I mean, dumb is fine because, but somebody might say, "Hey, I have a friend or family member that can't speak." But I could say that's stupid, or that's idiotic, or that's asinine, or that's ludicrous, or that's ignorant. You know, I could say a slew of words that are not offensive to anybody instead of saying that's retarded. Oh wait, you have a retarded uncle, I'm sorry, I won't say retarded around you, and then go around and say retarded around other people until you've then offended someone else and then say I'm sorry. That's like stealing a bike and asking forgiveness instead of just not stealing the bike. I'm just, and that's
I think
fine.
that's too much of an extreme of an example personally, but I see your point.
Like that, you are a good person. Don't get me wrong. You are a good person. It's just I have learned during my life that I used to say that's gay. I did. I used to say when something was like when something was lame, I'd be like, "That's gay," or "Don't be gay," you know, that sort of thing. But I was actually called out on World of Warcraft, no less, by a particular individual. She was a lady, and she was homosexual. She still is, probably, I imagine.
She decided to stop.
Unless she died, she still is.
Or
And she said, "Hey, that's unacceptable. You're a terrible human being. You got to stop that." And I was like, wait, hold on. What did I do?
did she actually say you're a terrible human being?
Yes.
See, no, that's just
And
That I
that's
think is
the
going to
problem.
the ninth degree.
That's my problem.
it's
Is that they instantly go to, "Oh, you're just a monster."
Yeah, when
Instead of
that's
going
It
like,
is
not.
true.
you might not know that's offensive, but you shouldn't say that around people.
I agree with you both. She approached me in the wrong way. But I have a little more patience. And I asked what I have done wrong. And she told me the situation and explained herself and her situation. And I responded with what I had to say. And there was so much we had to say to each other that I actually gave her my phone number, and then she called me from Las Vegas, Nevada, and we talked for 4 hours and had discourse about homosexuality in America and things that are and are not okay. And I learned a lot. And needless to say, I stopped saying things were gay to mean that they were lame.
Oh, okay, here's the thing. I was once told that saying homosexual, the word, just the word, even if you're actually referring to a homosexual, is offensive.
That's like saying the Earth is flat.
Wait, what? It's not.
Wait, what? If the Earth's
Shit.
flat, why aren't our shoes curved?
But I've been in a plane.
I can see it. It's all flat.
Oh, yeah, Mars is round. We all know that. But I mean, the Earth.
I hate this argument so much, and I hate that people are that fucking stupid.
Mars is round. That's funny because they do believe that the other planets are round.
I mean, no, I
But
retweeted.
this
I
one isn't.
retweeted that picture, and you retweeted it from me.
Oh my god!
My favorite whole thing with the whole thing is you tweeting at the Flat Earth Society asking about it, and they reply with, "There are different perceptions of how flat the Earth actually is," and your reply was, "Oh, so it's a lot like Christianity."
Got him.
Fucking got him with that one. Holy shit, that was awesome. It's fucking straight fire. Straight fucking fire tweets.
Yeah, I follow the Church of Satan on Twitter.
The Church of
Church of
Satan is
Satan is
hilarious
really
because
great.
everyone thinks they're evil and Satan,
just
and it's
like,
like,
dude,
no,
dude,
guys, we
dude,
don't
what's
worship
up?
Satan at all.
When it comes to
Like
our
we have
life,
no, we use the name Satan because our religion is Satanism, and it's
Right.
nothing to do with Satan himself, but his teachings.
Yep, that's correct. I'm
Which are
surprised
seen
you know that, Specs.
They're seen as evil because they are the worship and fulfillment of the self, not the worship and following of a god.
and honestly,
Because man doesn't need that in the eyes of Satan.
I think
Man
Satan.
needs to
I think
advance
Satan.
himself.
I think Satan would be a really cool guy if he was real, because he'd just be a dude doing his job. He's just,
Yeah, he'd just be that bro you talk to when you need advice for something.
Yeah.
He's not a god. He's not some almighty powerhouse. He's just a dude bro you talk to.
Honestly, I would rather have Hades from Hercules, but we
Yeah,
can't-
Hades, Lord, Hades, King of the Underworld, Lord of the Dead. Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big
I don't know,
deal.
Loki. Is Loki the? No, Hela.
Helia? I wouldn't want Helia. She's just a jealous bitch.
She's a bitch.
She's just a jealous bitch. Because Odin wanted to bang a different pussy.
Why is it?
'Cause
What's
let's
it with
be
this, like
real.
Odin and Zeus, and they're just really looking to get
because
their dick wet.
The two of them were brochachos that decided to go get their dicks as wet as possible. And that's basically how you
Brochacho.
describe Norse and Greek mythology.
No. Norse mythology is basically like just running out there and murdering
God
shit.
damn
and
it.
Look at all these shit. just
Drew,
trying to
that meme was spicy you just retweeted.
Just-
Yeah, I made friends with this guy that I had a huge argument about the person being fired from Subnautica for their conservative views, and we fought for like 45 minutes, and now we're friends.
Yeah,
And-
but that meme is really funny.
Who?
And yeah, so, like,
Because it's hilarious. Cause like, it literally fulfills the extreme liberal debate in every way with one sentence fulfills exactly what being alt left in quotations means by people's perceptions.
exactly. The alt left is as hilariously dumb as the alt right.
They're both equally stupid and both equally exist, and that's the scariest part is that they exist and are that stupid. I'm just
That's
glad
why
I'm glad they're both minorities.
Right, I also am.
Yeah, but
and I just thought this is a great thing for him to have retweeted. I'm going to say that too. I think that's hilarious.
It's also quite funny. They
Also-
think I'm Hitler, but want me to take their guns away.
But yeah, but like talking about like the Subnautica thing. Drew, you got retweet. I think you talked with Bunty King.
Oh, with Bunty, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear about this at all, honestly. But if someone was fired from a game studio for having conservative worldviews, that's literally anti-American because it's anti-freedom.
There's a lot of different stories out. Some people say he just because he had conservative views. Some people are saying because he did the attack helicopter joke. Other people are saying because he's just a shitbag. Apparently, Bunty King had him on a stream, and he's a really nice guy. So, I don't know why he changed his icon to a female. That's kind of weird, though.
Whatever.
That was random.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is what it is.
but
I
yeah,
guess.
Bunty
I don't
He
know.
said that we shouldn't take in Syrian refugees because they will bring their third world crime and IQ to our country.
Yeah, the IQ part was the problem.
Now, to be fair, I am for the increased perception of being careful of who we allow to enter this country. because of the fact
as far
that we
as
have two
refugees, it's
open
fine.
borders that just people flood over,
I don't know if you
and
guys
we
have,
have
like,
refugees
seen-
that just rush
I don't know
in.
if you guys have seen just like what's been happening in Germany.
Exactly for what's happening in Germany is why I'm for increased security on who we allow in from countries, especially ones that we are at times of war or have
Still,
had
though,
Are we
poor
still- are
relations
we-
with.
Is the Afghanistan war still going on, or is that over?
I don't know. It's been redone twice and perpetuated to justify a presidency
next
twice. But we've
remake?
forgotten that Bush was literally
I
worse than Trump in every way.
No, he was not.
No, he
I
absolutely
would have
was.
100 Bushes before
George
I had
Bush had a shoe thrown at him by an Iraqi reporter. That is the largest offense you can ever have
No,
someone.
Actually, no. Here's the thing. Specs. George Bush actually did have a speech where he was like, just because of 9/11, we shouldn't be mean to Muslims. We shouldn't like try it because they're different people from what. from the
Freelance. He started a war twice to justify his
Yeah,
presidency.
he's just. I mean, I never said he wasn't dumb. 'Cause he's
And bad.
dumb, but he's not
Yeah.
a horrible person. He's
No.
just.
I
dumb.
would disagree. He also made our housing market crash to literally horrifically cataclysmic proportions. That was
Yes,
his fault.
Bush is terrible. I agree.
He's not a good president.
He
Well,
makes
he's
a better
argu-
citizen.
He's arguably worse than John Adams,
John-
president in American history.
John Adams.
Was John Adams? I always think like whenever I think of like.
John Adams is the reason this country has two political parties.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
always
then
think
he
of-
is immediately the worst president.
Whenever
Yes,
I think,
John Adams is the reason for that.
Whenever I think of
He
like
was
the
a
worst,
terrible
Whenever
president.
I think of the worst president, I think Andrew Jackson.
No, it was John
Yeah,
Adams.
I mean, Andrew Jackson.
Andrew
did-
Jackson was pretty shit. He had no idea what he was doing, and even
Truly-
said, "I
truly-
shouldn't be." Yeah, he even said, "I shouldn't be president," but people still made him
I
president.
will say one story of Andrew Jackson that I like is how the Liberal Party or the God, what were they called?
They
It
were the
wasn't-
Democratic Party.
Democratic Party got their icon as the donkey. Someone called him a jackass, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Yes, I am."
Yes, I am.
Yes.
And that's why they're the donkey party. Yeah.
That's the only thing I like about him. He's a piece of shit.
Yep. Yep.
Anyway, so well, I know that Drew. So like, do you still? Yeah, I think what the guy said about shooting refugees. Yeah, that's wrong. He shouldn't have done that.
You're right. He shouldn't have done that. He might not be a bad guy. And then
And I
you know
mean-
the attack helicopter thing. I asked Lelf, when someone, even in a joking way, refers to their gender as attack helicopter, toaster, microwave, whenever they say that their gender identity is these things, is that an offensive, insulting thing to you? And she said, yes, in two ways. One, that is demeaning to my identity as an individual, and they are taking away my ability. They are marginalizing me as a human they're taking away my ability to identify as who I want to identify as. They are mocking me. And then the second reason is because that's not even clever enough to be considered a good insult. You're just copy pasting a meme.
It was never an insult.
It is an insult.
I never thought it. I just thought it was a dumb joke.
I always thought it was a dumb meme, honestly.
Right, and usually people do. But
yeah, I've
this
only
whole-
ever used it to show that I don't understand the whole thing, and am just making a joke to make a joke to not look like an idiot
but
because I
fucking
don't understand it at all.
Right, which is all right.
Not that
but,
I
you
have a
know-
problem with it. You do you. Your life doesn't affect mine at all.
Right.
So
And
I
that's-
really don't
that's
care
cool.
what you identify as. Whatever.
I mean, unless the
I-
attack helicopter actually comes and.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
unless you
okay.
actually are an attack helicopter and come and shoot my fucking house up, then
Like,
I give a
please
shit
don't.
that you're an
Please
attack
don't do
helicopter.
that, helicopter.
Don't fucking
Right.
do that. Helicopters don't shoot my house. That's
one
not
Please
cool.
don't
viewer.
shoot! Please
The
don't
one-
shoot my house.
The one.
But yeah,
viewer,
so
the
I
one
asked
viewer
her-
we have is an attack helicopter.
The-
They are mad.
They're so mad.
Anyway,
Though I did ask her, and she said yes, it is an insult. And I was also watching the feed of the trans person that I follow, who is very vocal about her position on her views, and she also finds it offensive. And it's weird though, because she did a poll that out of 100, it's more now, but out of 100 people then, 87 found the attack helicopter thing offensive to NB people, which NB is the word, but also the abbreviation of non-binary. So people who do not identify as female or male. And that they found that non-binary people were offended more by the attack helicopter thing than the binary transgender people were, which I found interesting because that is a smaller subset of the transgender community that is non-binary, or like the non-binary, I guess, is a different subset of the gender spectrum in general. And I don't know, I was fascinated by that. But yes, that was offensive. The other thing was offensive. And Subnautica, right? The Unknown World or Otherworld Productions.
I think it's Unknown Worlds.
Unknown Worlds, yeah. Unknown Worlds saw that and saw that they were in their bio registered as, you know, this. I am a Subnautica sound designer. I put all the spooky sounds into the game. And they sat down, they talked with this individual, and they said, hey, knock it off. And he said no. And they were like, all right, you're fired.
Yeah, like, that's fine.
Yeah. As much as I don't like it, a corporation, and I do, keep in mind, I do wish this would be changed, but a corporation can fire you for any reason whatsoever, period, at any time.
Yep, that's how it works.
So there is no argument. They're like, oh, this person was fired for their conservative beliefs. No, they weren't. They were fired.
Now,
period.
Granted, they are fired, but it is not without consequence and it is not without reaction. You are within your rights that if it is an unjustified reason to be fired, to challenge it.
Yes, absolutely.
There is a law where you can't be like discriminated.
You can't be discriminated for your beliefs, how you look at things, or otherwise. It is under the Constitution. Yeah.
Like,
otherwise, you cannot be fired for those reasons. So if he was fired for his viewpoint specifically, he absolutely can challenge it, whether people agree with his viewpoint or not.
But if he refused to stop saying things that his company told him to stop saying, then that's the other backlash is one of the lawyers of the company can come back with he refused he was fired in insubordination or refusing to follow company policy, and that's what they'll list it as for his reason for termination, which will give him no argument in court.
It will not
because he wasn't fired for his beliefs, and then that's why it would show as he was fired for those reasons.
Right, but he would still be eligible for rehire from other companies, and also would be eligible for unemployment. So those are good. So if the guy is a kind of nice guy, like if he's a nice guy, that's good. I'm glad he will be able to find employment with another gaming developer.
As long as he learns from this.
Super great. As long as he learns, yeah. So like, I don't think he was fired for his conservative beliefs. I think he was fired for saying people from other countries have third world crime and IQ, and he doesn't want them in America. That's a fucked up thing to say when your entire goddamn country is founded on people who were essentially criminals with third world IQs.
I mean, we were literally renegade. We were literally took on an empire in war.
We were renegades from Britain, a country who's so polite that we were somehow so terrible we got kicked out of it.
Not at that time. Britain was not that great.
No, Britain was a fucking terrible place.
They were a totalitarian government run by a douchebag who thought he was the guy who could rewrite the Bible.
They're the reason Gandhi was able to find
some
prominence.
To be fair, Drew, he did rewrite the Bible.
He sure did. King James
fucking stepped up and did exactly what he said he was gonna do. He wasn't the man who thought he could rewrite the Bible. He was the man who rewrote the Bible.
Who actually stood up and did it, which was funny.
He was not a man of talk. He was a man of action.
If anything can be said about King James, it's that.
He fucking did what he said he was gonna do.
Though I will say, Queen Victoria, fuck you. You're trying to kill me in Civ 6. I don't like you.
You tried to kill me in Civ 6.
That bitch.
That bitch. Queen Victoria.
We can absolutely all agree that history is when you present it in a comedic light.
Oh my god, it really
Like when
is.
Gandhi tries to nuke me.
Gandhi's a fucking dick, first of all. If you've played Civ 6, you know Gandhi is no peace-loving person
know
at all.
what- do you know
He is
why?
a malicious and son of a bitch.
You know why he's so violent?
Because that's how Gandhi actually is.
No, because like when they were first making the game, they said, you know, we're just gonna Gandhi's gonna be the most peaceful. Thing is,
Right.
they went way too peaceful. They went to the extreme end of the spectrum to extremely violent.
Right,
He went from
exterminating
literally
all
where-
life is the most peaceful decision, because after all life is gone, there will be peace.
Gandhi, that's a terrible viewpoint to have.
Gandhi, no, why are you do this?
So far in my game of Civ 6, Gandhi hasn't done anything, and
Because you
I'm-
don't let him, because you kill him first.
Oh well, I mean he's near me. I'm Japan, by the way,
Oh, nice.
which means I do need to destroy America before they nuke me.
Yes.
Yes. You
Teddy
do need to
Roosevelt
do
is
that.
going down.
Just
bitch.
Teddy
remember,
Roosevelt.
a landfall invasion of
Bully.
America brings with it a gun behind every blade of grass.
Yeah, I just
Bully.
bullet.
Bully!
But yeah, and then there's
Fucking-
Tenochtitlan of the Aztecs is a dickhead.
Ah, yes, he is.
Oh, he's a dick.
dickhead. I don't like that guy.
Um,
You can't work with
The
him as any
Australian-
character.
the
You can be
Austra-
himself and he won't work with any other
the
character no matter what
Australian
option you
leader?
choose.
The Australian leader's being a dick.
Always.
He was just suddenly like, "Hey, I don't like you." I'm like, "Why?
Hey, fuck you. Why? What did I do? What did I do?
Why?"
But
Um,
why?
Like, well, at least I will. No, Japan isn't that accepting of gay people, are they?
I don't know. I've never been to
yet.
Japan.
Not. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, Yuri on Ice happened. So I mean,
They actually seem to be in a weird dichotomy. There seem to be places. I guess I would describe Japan like this. If the entire place has the viewpoints of Texas, certain cities have the viewpoints of Austin, Texas.
we're saying Austin, Texas, because
Austin, Texas is one of the most liberal left cities in the
I
world.
can only guess that because Rooster Teeth is also pretty liberal, so that's why they'd be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my gaming my friend is a game developer and he worked for BioWare in Austin, Texas for a little while. And now he's working on that alternate or the augmented reality stuff, but not the Pokemon Go stuff, like the actual you see like the whale jumping out of the basketball court and
The
going
flaming
back
whale?
into it. No, not
The flaming whale
the
specifically.
flaming whale? Oh no! Have you seen that though, where the augmented reality, like
Yeah,
an
I've
entire,
seen that.
he works for that company,
Oh, okay.
and he is one of their lead programmers because of his
But the thing,
experience.
I think Japan's becoming more accepting of homosexuality because of things like Yuri on Ice was
I think they are too.
was put out there, and like even Persona 4, I think maybe even Persona
Mhm.
3, they had their problems with depictions, but at least they actually put in like hints of characters being gay.
Okay. That's
And
good.
Persona 4 came out in 2008.
Okay.
Hell, there's even a
Alright.
character in Persona 4 that's looks like a man, but is a girl, but she dresses like a man because she saw the way that women were treated, and so like I don't want
Ah.
to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
fair.
And I guess like your job as like if you want to get in a relationship with her is like telling her like it's okay, no one's gonna, as long as you have that detective gun that you keep carrying around.
The gun itself is a detective, by the way.
The gun is a detective.
the gun is out, right? It's a detective.
But yeah, I think Japan's becoming better with it, especially with
I
things
think
like
so too.
with like Nier Automata, which kind of has some fairly gay implications at some points.
Apparently, my internet randomly turned off there like halfway through what you were saying.
I was just talking about how much of a piece of shit this Specs guy was.
Oh, okay.
Am I right?
I didn't miss anything.
Right. Oh, well, then never mind. My mic didn't at all.
But yeah, like, but it's like it's places like the Middle East where it's still a problem.
Yeah, a lot of Africa's the same way. And it's funny, I saw a post on Twitter that
Now,
was
to
like,
be fair, a lot of those places are still that way because of places like America and England.
That's a good point. That is a
Those places
good
wouldn't be that
point.
way if it wasn't for the fact that other countries can't mind their own goddamn business.
True, but it is actually very good seeing women like taking off their hijabs and like protesting it because it's like
Right.
I mean,
There's actually
you're
shit-
likely to get shot afterwards, but
I
at least
mean,
you're trying to
but
do
hey,
something
at least
about it.
Guys, like, listen, a huge point for feminism. Women are finally able to drive in Arabia and like Arabic countries.
I mean, that's a huge thing over there.
Ever since 2017.
Oh my
Right?
god, right?
Like that's
I
actually
was
a pretty
like-
important thing.
It is. It is a pretty important
It's an
thing. And I
important
was
thing,
like,
but
hey,
it shouldn't have
congratulations,
happened at that time.
Yeah, it shouldn't
in
have taken that long,
2017.
first of all.
It's a bit too late. It's a bit too late.
No,
Prince has been
I
around
do
for what,
have
100 years?
Oh my god, right? Yes. I do have a funny thing. There was a tweet that posted. It was one of the things that my new super hyper conservative friend guy on Twitter retweeted. They retweeted. There was something that somebody said that the movie Black Panther missed a really great opportunity
Oh my god.
to get some queer
I know what
representation
you're talking about. It's like
in there, and then the other person replied with, well, every country in Africa except South America is super
my favorite
anti-gay.
country. My favorite country in Africa is South America.
Sorry, South
South
Africa.
Africa.
I messed up. That was my mistake. No, every country except South Africa is really against gay stuff, and then I really wanted to reply, but I didn't because I didn't want to start a fight. But I was like, so, how is your studies on the legal systems of Wakanda? Do
Listen,
you
I eventually
do you
wanna- I-
know what their views are on homosexuality, Wakanda?
Isn't Wakanda like extremely nationalist?
Kinda, yeah, though, because
And they
Wakanda-
have a wall.
they
I don't-
actually have a wall. Yeah,
I don't believe that Wakanda. I don't know anything about comic book heroes. Does Wakanda actually exist, or is that a
No.
completely made-up place?
it
It's
is
the
a
most-
completely made up place.
it's the most
It is
made-up
where
place
all the
to ever
vibranium
exist.
in the Marvel universe comes from.
Vibranium's not an element.
Exactly.
No, it's not. It is a made up Marvel thing
That's
that
the
Captain
point.
America's shield is made out of.
It could
Yeah,
be-
I
it
was really funny because like people were bitching about that, and they were like, well, the characters were originally written as queer, and I was like, ah, shit. And and it's like, oh, then they did miss a good opportunity. But my favorite tweet about Black Panther, my favorite tweet was it showed a picture of Stan Lee in his cameo in the movie,
Who is he?
and the person said,
Oh.
this guy right here is an example of white appropriation of a black culture movie.
It's like
Okay,
it's like
keep in mind this is a picture of Stan Lee.
Stanley, who is
What?
who's basically required, even probably after he dies, to be in every Marvel movie.
Right. So okay, this is Stan Lee, the guy who wrote and created the character Black Panther, the guy that is Black Panther, and also the country he is from and all of its stuff that exists. He wrote all of it. And someone posted the Wikipedia article of Black Panther the comic book and circled writer Stan Lee, and then all he replied was, "You should probably research who that guy is." Oh my god, it was the sickest burn. I was dying. Like, they could have posted anybody else. They could have posted Andy Serkis, but no,
It's-
they post Stan Lee.
That person was probably intending to make themselves look like a fucking idiot.
It's you know,
Ugh,
and there's games
they
like
sure did.
there's Wolfenstein too, which has African American characters in it. Like, I'm pretty sure they are black. They're actual like Black Panthers. But-
They're actually like furries.
yes, yes.
They are Black
I'm pretty sure
Panthers.
I even saw YMS in there somewhere. But no, it's weird because like when they first came onto the submarine in Wolfenstein, they actually were kind of rude and like not thankful that we were able to save them from the nuked New York City.
know.
By the way, the Nazis nuked New York City.
Oh God.
I mean, to be fair, had the war gone on 6 more months,
Oh,
that probably would have
no.
actually happened.
Well, I
The
mean,
Nazis.
the only reason the Nazis won in this universe is because they had extremely futuristic technology, like lasers and robot dogs.
Oh. So it's Call of Duty.
That would do it then.
But eventually it's like, wow, all these people are really nice, and I really like just seeing them. And whenever they say something to me, I in real life I just give them a little finger gun. Like Blazkowicz, I'm like, hey.
Hey.
But yeah, Wolfenstein 2, like, I was kind of iffy in the beginning, but it started getting better. But the beginning of Wolfenstein 2 is actually really good in terms of, like, what would be the word? Inclusivity, because literally the first, second part in the game. Well, because the first part is you flashing back to when your father's a racist asshole and beat up your mother and made you
Oh.
made you shoot the dog, and if you don't shoot the dog, he'll shoot the dog.
Oh.
Yes,
That's not good.
he's not a good person. Anyway, but then it moves on to BJ, waking up because he got super fucked up in the ending of the last game, and his legs do not work. So
His legs don't work.
and so, but the submarine that he and his group took over is being taken over raided by the Nazis. So he gets in a wheelchair, gets some guns, and you play a good at least 30 minutes of the game in a wheelchair shooting Nazis.
Yes.
And there are wheelchair mechanics.
Oh wow.
There's even a part where you're trying to go up a conveyor belt and you slide off because it's a conveyor belt. And you're just like sliding down, shooting Nazis. Like, god damn it! It's great. And then even your pregnant wife like picks up a gun and shoots at Nazis.
Oh, that's fun.
And
I just saw a tweet that means I'm probably gonna go broke next year.
well, go to Wakanda, man.
Yeah, I know, right? I just go make all kinds of money.
Just like mine vibranium or something.
Right? And come back and sell it and just
Like what?
not have
what's
to worry
wrong,
about money
man?
ever
What
again.
happened? What
Oh,
happened?
Drew probably had to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
No, they're making a Bosijo series for pony figures, like the anime girl versions of them.
Are they like an actual like animated? series?
I don't know. It's got a no. I'm talking like the figure series.
Uh,
I have a penchant for figurines, like actual like scale model figurines that are
I don't
pre-painted.
have any place to put a figurine, so I just get posters.
Oh my! I have so many of them. I can't even have them all on display.
That's probably the bad thing.
I have spent a stupid amount of money
'Cause
on
the reason
dumb
to have
shit.
a figurine is to put it up for display.
Yeah, and I don't have enough space to put them all up. On other news, though, I found a game called Slime Rancher going through queues while we've all been talking.
Oh, Slime Rancher's adorable.
Looks amazing.
I love it. It's just such a happy game. Even
Right.
when the slimes are dying, they are going woohoo.
Yoo-hoo! Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that one. I'll look that up at some point. It looks
it's
good.
it's a mwah, good game.
It doesn't touch on my spaghetti.
It doesn't touch them. It's a spicy meatball, but it's not knack, baby.
But it's not knack.
It's a masterpiece. God. I only recently got into Video Game Donkey.
How long are we gonna keep going for? We've been doing this like 3 hours. Going at 4 even, I think.
This is why I like doing podcasting. You just sit down and talk for as long as you want. So that's why.
Right, I have
like
work in the morning though, is the only thing.
That's why I'm just gonna keep you up until you get fired. So
Oh.
no, where I'm
Then
pretty
I
sure-
had then I have no choice but to pursue YouTube
I'm
because
pretty
how
su-
else am I gonna make
I'm pretty
money?
sure we'll probably be wrapping it up soon.
Whatever Drew happens to get back.
We'll figure it out.
To go masturbate or something. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Hey,
Fucking got him.
got 'em.
Literally, probably the best title we could have come up with.
It's literally the best title we could have come up with.
So
Um,
good.
Yeah. Let's see.
I
There's
feel like we've
also-
had a lot of good discourse though so far.
I guess one more conversation we have is about a game called Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I
Because
have not heard of that.
because
I haven't either.
the creator of it was like accused of being a Gamergate supporter. Now
I still don't know what that was.
I know
either.
Drew was there when me and Red talked about Gamergate,
Yeah.
and you know how much it's full of shit.
Right.
It's basically it was first because a woman was like trying to get her game promoted, so she had sex with a journalist, so so he could
That's
review her game, and people got,
already the wrong way to promote your stuff.
and people got
Right.
outraged over it, and she took it and manipulated it so that it was like, oh, they can't accept women in the gaming industry.
So she's tried to spin it and turn it
But
into
the thing
her
is,
being the victim.
like the thing is, like the media took it, everyone almost like a lot of people accepted it as that. So people still think GamerGate is a thing that isn't about just the ethics of game journalism, but it's about gamers being mean to women. So, and the thing is, her game looked dumb. First of all, or
What
maybe-
game was it?
I think it was called Depression Quest.
Oh,
And then
Oh,
there's
shit.
a-
I don't even feel bad about laughing at that one.
And these ones, and this like GamerGate like started the careers of shitty people like Zoe Quinn and Brianna Wu and
Never heard of these people.
good, that's good.
I-
Brianna Wu
I
is
feel-
Brianna Wu is going to
No,
she's-
no, I would
no,
feel
she's,
better
she's-
not ever knowing anything about them. Actually,
she wants to be part of the Senate or the Congress. She wants to be part of the Congress. She's trying to.
I would be
And we
holistically
shouldn't.
surprised if she actually made
But
it.
have
in.
you heard of Anita Sarkeesian,
Which is the worst
No.
of them all.
the worst of them all?
No, I've never heard of her.
She wanted to make a series called Tropes of Video Games Against Women. And she put up like a Kickstarter, and she got much more money than she wanted. And she delivered shit. And the thing is, there's even some footage of her saying, like, I'm not even into video games. I just had to learn them. Like,
Yeah.
she's not into video games.
She had to learn about them just so she can ride this wave of victimhood. And
It's disgusting. There's people out there that do
and
this.
SVU made an
Yeah,
episode on it.
she's Terrible.
SVU made their
Jeez.
worst episode on Gamergate. Like,
That sounds like a mistake.
I think Logan Paul's in it.
Uh,
But no. Let me tell you.
Our
Let me
favorite.
tell you about this SVU episode because its beginning is the worst, and like just hold on. Basically, a woman who's making a game and it's like, yeah, it's like better than Civilization with all of its expansion packs. Is what people are saying. Trust me, it gets dumber than that. But like basically, the woman goes to the bathroom and she gets sexually assaulted, pretty much raped by two men.
I mean,
and
that's the standard for SVU.
And guys like a friend runs and he's like, are you okay? What happened? And she's just like, they just leveled up.
What?
I'm not even joking. She got
I don't even want you to go any further
got
with this. 'Cause
raped.
This is just
I'm
sounds
not, this is where I'm
horrible.
done. This is where I'm stopping because she got raped and said they just leveled up. Like woman, you just
Nobody
got
says that.
Nobody says
Nobody
that.
says that.
Don't you just hate it when there's like a gamer character in any kind of show and they're just like always giving off those gaming references? Like, oh man,
Using
buy
the
that for a
shitty
dollar.
memes,
We're
not
cutting-
even using.
let's go bowling, Nico.
Oh God.
Like, oh my
God.
god, I hate those kinds
Yeah.
of characters.
Are we gonna go back to the whole YouTube changing policy on monetization deal, or
Oh yeah, well I mean, it's not
We
as
just
bad
give-
as people make it out to be.
no? It's not. People made it out to be horrifically terrible, and it's not at all.
Like someone in Bunty's Square of like Friends, his name's Chris Raygun. He did a
Mhm.
video where he's just like, you know, like there's my channel was just used for, like I just used it for random videos that I put on, and then one point I was just like, you know what, maybe I can actually, I have a sizable audience, I can probably make a career out of this. So he worked hard, and he actually in like 2 months he got a huge like boost, just because
Yeah.
he started actually treating it like a job. And so it's like, as long as you work hard, which I'm not going to do, you can make a career out of YouTube.
Yeah, and honestly, YouTube's intention with this was to make it so that monetization is available to those who take YouTube seriously and use it as a platform to
Logan.
create content people want. We're not gonna. No, fuck him.
Just just don't.
He's a terrible person. He doesn't count. He's not included in that. Right?
your body.
Yeah, we're just gonna skim over that. But no, it's what the changes do allows YouTube to adjust monetization amounts and then increase monetization payout for content creators, because now you're not having people dip out of the pool who are throwing up one and done, one hit wonder videos for the sake of making money off of I'm just gonna go with one viral video, and that's just gonna make me a ton of money. Now that that's not a thing anymore, that's what it's intended to prevent.
Like, I don't want to make a career out of YouTube. I want to be a writer for either video games or just as novels. And,
Right.
Right. which would be sweet.
the thing is, like, what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
God, man, I wish I had that technology from the.
Right, and I can go back and figure out what the fuck I was just gonna say.
Okay, no. I only
Technology.
use YouTube for streams. I only use it because I like to stream and talk with people. You know,
Yeah.
like I just like to.
And that's completely
There's
fair.
some points where I just want to stream gameplay, and it's like, watch what I'm playing. Why not? Let's just talk a bit. Dang.
Yeah, but one of the biggest things I personally saw, and the only, like I said earlier, the only people I could see this really hurting are animators. But by definition, animation as a media platform is already very difficult to not only get your foot in the door for, but content creation, especially when you're a solo animator. You gotta remember, normally animation has teams of people behind it. A lot of the big name animators that are on YouTube, one person. That's why you only get content from once every couple of months. And that's what them working tirelessly every day on it.
Rubber Ross did make a video on that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
Chris
Rubber
Raygun.
Ninja.
Chris Raygun actually recommended that video, so I guess that's like for anyone
Yeah.
who's an animator on YouTube, go check out like Rubber Ross's video on video.
Yeah, it goes over a lot more than I can go over it because I don't know much about it other than the fact of better mediums to be looking at are things like Patreon or things like Picarto or streaming, or just streaming in
Or
general. If you're,
Dogecoin.
I don't know what Dogecoin is, but it sounds like Bitcoin, which is still something I
It's
don't
Bitcoin
understand, but
with
it's
Doge
apparently
on
worth
it,
money.
Okay, sir.
Oh.
It's the best coin ever.
Honestly,
Bitcoin
I
is the
still don't
best.
understand Bitcoin, but the only thing I regret is someone who grew up with banking and stock information, regret not jumping on that and not seeing the trend that was going to take, because I could be
Right.
sitting on a lot of fucking money right
A
now and I'd
lot
not
of
paid
money.
anything. And my only regret is not jumping on Bitcoin when I had the chance to.
Well,
I'm
Bitcoin
pretty sure
is
all
the
of us
best
are.
and worst currency in the world. It
But
is
it's
the
worth a
best
lot
and
of money.
Oh yeah, it's the best currency in the world because it's unregulated by any government, but it is a currency that is accepted across the world globally. So you can buy anything you want from any country you want, from any person that wants to sell it, and you can buy it and have it, and it's not traced, it's untaxable, it's all just a universal people giving a representation of effort to each other in exchange for goods. It is the way currency was core intended on being. Now, here's the problem. Fucking drug dealers use it. Sex traffickers use it. The deep web with the websites that allow you to murder people and
Flat
you get to
Earthers
choose.
probably use it.
I mean,
choose.
To be
So
fair,
many
those
really
people
terrible people
also
use it.
use currencies we already have.
I mean,
too.
if we can also
Yeah,
drug
yeah, they
dealers
do.
also use paper money, so I guess we should just stop using paper
Yeah,
money.
Paper money.
I mean that sounds like a shitty argument, but at the same time, it's also true.
I do. It is. It
The
is kind
only
of a
real
shitty argument.
problem is that it's the only real problem is yes, Bitcoin is untraceable, which makes these people
Right.
easier to get away with what they do. But it's also still harder for them to continue to keep getting away with it because investigation technology keeps evolving to track these people down.
Right,
They're
electronic.
not
transactions.
untraceable forever. Yeah, electronic transactions themselves can be traced. The
You think-
I
Bitcoins
just-
can't be, but
I like how it avoids the government and puts it into the hands of just the people that are using the currency. And I like that it is a global thing. Like no exchange rates, nothing. You don't have to worry about any of that nonsense. It's all electronic. It's super easy. So I think that's cool. I like Bitcoin. I really, really hope that they find a way to balance freedom with regulation. And because Bitcoin, I think, could be a really great thing for the world. But right now, it's in its infancy, and it's kind of like an unruly toddler, full of energy and potential, and just wants to get out there and create, but
man, they're just a little shit.
doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Doesn't care whose lives they're destroying.
They will stand in front of the TV because they don't know better.
But no, to get back on the topic we're on, the changes YouTube made to monetization won't change anything, and the best way I've seen it put was a tweet Boogie himself put up. it took, and it almost word for word quoted was, "It took me almost 2 years before I even got my YouTube myself." This won't stop new content creators. If anything, it'll make them work harder to get what they want to
Yeah.
get, because the people that really want it won't stop working towards it.
I think we should probably end the stream off by saying how great the journey of Boogie has been.
Honestly, yeah, the guy is
Oh,
First
yeah,
of all,
really
saying
impressive.
like, yeah, YouTube policy, just work hard. Just work hard. Treat
You
it
just
like a
need
job.
to work hard.
You want it
Treat
to be a
it like
job,
what it
treat
is.
it like so.
Exactly.
Anyway,
It's
Boogie.
not go up and bullshit. But yeah, Boogie himself is incredible.
I mean,
I'm
Yeah.
surprised he's made such strides as he
oh my
has.
god, like he's able to like fit in booths. He has shirts that
Right.
don't fit him
Yeah.
anymore, and
Yeah, it's
It's glorious.
now granted he's had a lot of bullshit happen for him
he
recently.
got divorced. That was sad.
It's been apparently horrific.
But you know, he's like still probably one of the more
But,
positive
yeah, he
people
hasn't-
on
yeah.
YouTube.
He's still just as positive as he is, and still doing everything he can. And it's, if anything, he's a testament to what it means to be focused and dedicated to what you want to do.
Yeah.
That through all the bullshit, you just keep pushing forward on it.
You go, Boogie. You the man.
You
Yeah,
demand.
that's really incredible. Like Boogie's,
But he's not now.
he's been working super hard.
Yeah. So just wanted to end it on a positive note. Keep doing whatever you're doing, unless it's bad. Then stop doing that.
Stop doing that.
Like, for example, you person masturbating. You're touching yourself. That's against the Lord's rule. God isn't going to be happy about that, and he will smite you down where you sit, you piece of shit.
Wouldn't that only
Unless
be
you're
true if
standing,
he follows
then where you're
your specific perception of that?
Listen, my perception of God is Drew.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't like it when I masturbate because he wants it in him.
Oh,
me,
in him
right.
specifically.
Use me properly.
We're done.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, I think we're
Anyway,
done.
so yeah, just like whatever you want to plug, I guess plug.
Go watch our videos.
Go-
Not all I
yeah.
can
Where
say.
the fuck is your video, dude?
Did you post the links in the description of the freaking stream?
I don't have your links. I forgot them.
How do you not have them? I have them literally everywhere.
That's true. It is basically everywhere I look.
Anywhere I can put those links exist. I am literally like media generating myself every fucking potential place I can.
I am not liking your
I'm
attitude
no name
towards
forum
the
lords.
situation, sir. I mean, like, would you want me to link your YouTube or your Twitter?
They both go to the same place. Probably just link
your
the
YouTube
YouTube
channel
page.
link?
The YouTube channel link links to everything. Do you not have it for some reason?
Shut up.
God, I thought you watched my shit. I thought we were friends.
You even watch my shit?
Yes, actually I do. I'm one of the few
Shit, now I
people
have
that
to start
tune
watching
into
his
it.
shit.
Right? Now you feel bad, don't you? I actually
mean,
watch your stuff. You're actually pretty good.
I know. Let me just get. How do I
How do I?
send me the link, please?
I did. It's in Discord. Francis all like that.
I just linked the picture to the picture of the pony, My Little Pony thing. There it is.
Oh.
Here he is, guys. Go follow Fred. It's a slug box. Like, that's not me. It'd be cool if it was, because he's really good at what he does.
Let me just and Drew, you give me your fucking Twitter fucking shit.
Okay.
Welcome to the end of the podcast. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it
We'll
out
figure it
eventually.
out.
You literally just sent me. You just. I meant the link, Drew.
Technically, that's what the link looks like, just not in Discord.
It sends me to him to his Discord profile.
It sends to my Discord profile.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
thought
really
it-
surprised.
I thought it
people-
was funny.
Yeah, I think it was pretty fucking hilarious, actually.
Welcome to the this whole episode is just the epitome of what this show is going to be about. We don't know what
Pretty
the hell we're
much.
doing,
I have no idea what
and
we're
that's
doing.
the point.
Oh,
That's
I'm
the
the
whole show.
druid.
Yeah, you're the druid, cause you did that thing where it was like that thing like you reblog and whoever comes up in the names is gonna be that person.
Oh yeah.
And there were none for specs, so I just put him as some fucking loser.
Some
I
fucking
don't know.
loser. I don't know.
Yep.
I like that it doesn't have a W.
Yep.
It has a comma
But
and
no
an
W.
apostrophe to replace the G,
I'm just
but no W.
it's implying that I just didn't care enough to finish it. And
What
I'm
the fuck?
I'm
You
the
have almost
fighter.
19,000 tweets.
I'm the fighter.
Yes, I do have 19,000 tweets.
That's
But
it.
to be fair, that tally counts retweets.
And he does
Yeah,
retweet
I think
a
it would
lot
be
of
neat
Tara
if they
Strong.
didn't. If it didn't count retweet, I think it would
He retweets a
better.
lot of Tara Strong.
specifically Terror Strong.
Mostly Tara Strong. And Mark Hamill. And
A
Oh,
lot of Mark Hamill. A lot of Steve
M.A.
Bloom.
Larson?
Too. M.A. Larson, yeah.
does M.I. Larson still use Twitter?
Yes, a lot.
Oh, I don't see it that often.
I haven't
guess.
seen him.
honestly, if I could follow one person from the makers of My Little Pony, I would probably just follow M.A. Larson.
I mean, he's
Yep,
the only one
good
worth
choice.
following. If anyone's worth following more than anyone else, it's Mitch Larson.
Anyway, so what you got from the end of this whole podcast? Go follow M.A. Larson.
Yeah, go follow M.A. Larson. That's the message.
Don't give a
from
shit
the
about
first
us. Who
episode.
cares? Like, you probably don't even want to see the second episode of this, do you? Fine. Just
No,
go-
they'll
just-
probably turn in anyway just to
Just
see
make
us.
just
be
make sure you
stupid.
follow M.A. Larson.
How are we gonna live up to the next episode? Like, what's left to talk about? We did this for like 4 hours.
We can
What
literally
else
we
is
could
there to talk
I mean,
about?
The only thing we could do is just circle jerk.
It's so
Circle-
funny. We could split this episode in half and post it.
I'm sorry, you
As-
expecting me to do that work?
Expected me to do work?
Split and post it second half for next week's show.
And I'll make sure to cut it off in the middle of a sentence.
Mid fucking sentence.
Nobody would know it was
Well, I
recorded on
actually
the
like
same
Brad-
day.
Anyway, that's
Like
it.
full Sopranos style.
Let's just get the fuck out of here.
Alright, let's get out of here. I think we've had enough.
everyone.
Bye,
Enjoy the
everybody.
picture of the cat and Kirby.
The cat and
Bye,
yes, and
Kirby.
Kirby.